your hair's looking kind of thin back there.
What's that?
Your hair's looking kind of thin in the back.
My hair?
Your hair. Yeah, right back here.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Oh, totally, dude. Yep, right in that area there.
No.
Yep. Totally.
I'm gonna have hair until like 99.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I'm sure I will too, but it just ain't gonna be luscious.
Not in there.
Not in that area.
That part.
Yeah, that area's left the building. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good day. Happy Monday to everyone out there. Fernando's doing what he loves the most, right?
No.
Got your arm sleeves on, keeping it nice and cut free.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be bleeding in this wonderful cold weather.
Correct.
Because your skin is so dry right now in this cold weather, man.
It is.
It's horrible. But it's not terrible. It's a nice, 60, 70, something like that. Hey, from Germany. What's happening? So I hope everyone is having a happy Monday morning. We are working on a 2019 Camry. This is going to be here for a day or two. Yeah. 2 or 3. Anyways, it's got the cool factory big radio that you can see right there in the dash. It does not have JBL. So that means we're going to be doing some integration into it. No big deal. The problem is there's the Toyota, unlike every other vehicle, they don't have a ton of room under the seats. So if you're doing something small, you could probably get it underneath the seats. But right in the middle of the seat, they have this clip thing that hangs down and screws up everything. So like we could get amps there, but so what we decided to do is put them in the back here. And we've made this ABS panel here, and that's going to sit up like this. So it'll screw into place. There's going to be 3 screws there across the bottom. These 3 nut certs here. And then there's a nut cert here, here, and here. And those will hold this tray up into place. Now, we could screw the amps to the tray. However, you'd see all the zip ties and all that fun stuff hanging out of the bottom. So Fernando's like, that'll look ugly. And I agreed with him. So what we decided to do is make another mount. This one's out of 1/4 inch Centro. That one's out of 1/4 inch ABS because we need that to stay nice, super rigid and strong. This will screw into that other bracket. And as you can see, we're going to mount all the amps. And if you're wondering what this is, that's that seatbelt box right here. We just wanted to make sure we had clearance for that. So this is getting two pairs of Focal flax. In the front, it's going to be components, and the rear, it's going to be coaxials. And right over here, we have, these are the flax coaxials that are going to go into the back. And then these are the flax tweeters. Earlier today, I went ahead and made us the cool tweeter pods that are going to hold these things in place. So fun there. And then this is the bracket that is Metra. That's going to hold that speaker, the front door into place. And of course, we're road killing and doing all that fun stuff to it. So it is going to be nice and deadened because it's Toyota and really needs it. Are those made on the Glowforge? Those are totally made on the Glowforge. We made them this morning. And we got lucky because I actually just designed a set of those for Jeff Smith. He's putting the Audio Frog 2-inch twiddlers, high frequency mid-range, up in the dash. And what I had done is I had stacked them on top of one another, kind of like what we did if you saw the video for that we're currently working on right now, the Raptor video, where I took the 6.5 and the 5x7, stacked them on top of one another. We did the same thing. So the nice thing about that is we already have the cutout, so it's easy just to remove it from there, put it on another page, get the hole right, and move on. Any new stuff from WaveTech? Just that DSP that they're working on, the one that's like 10 or 12 channels of in and 8 out. Yeah. That's going to be iData compatible. So we're just waiting for that to come in to a reality. Another bit of news that we got when Mark and Matt, M&M, were here. When M&M was here last week, we were talking about Audison because Audison right now was the only other company that had said that their product will work with AR. And apparently Audison has been really burning them into oil. And now the Forza, the Prima line of amplifiers, as well as the Nova, in the next couple days will also have software pushed out so that their stuff is fully functional and ready to go. 6x9 3-way Steve Mead. What do you think? I think it's cool in the sense that now I know I can fit a 6 in a mid-range down there, or a tweeter or whatever. I don't know if I would do all that because, not because I don't think it would sound good, just because I like to spread out the sound a little bit, and there is tons of room there. So I'm kind of excited only in the sense that I can't believe we never thought to do that. You know, do a 6 in a mid-range down there and put a 3-way set.
Yeah.
I don't know why we never thought to do that. So I'm thankful he did it, because now I'm like, all right, we know there's tons of room. We can do it. Just, you know, you kind of get into that thought process, and every now and then you have to get out of it, and him doing that allowed us to get out of that thought process. So always love new ideas. Disney was wonderful. For those of you that follow and know, we didn't do a Saturday show because I was meeting Ada. He's here from out of town. His family's vacation over at Disney. Ada's a friend of the show. And I met my family met his family, and of course we filled the boring life, which I'm going to be editing tonight. And that's why there was no video today, because we got home late last night. We stayed, normally we try to dip out at Disney at like 5 o'clock, but last night we were there at like 8:30, and then it's an hour and 45-minute ride back home. And yeah, so we were there for 12 hours. It was a long day. That was a long day at Disney. We don't normally do that, but yeah. So no video today because I got home and fell right asleep. Was gonna do it, didn't work out. So, is there a stop-start bypass for Subaru? Thanks. Honestly, I have no idea. Remote start is not my thing, so I honestly don't know. What's up, Victor? How's it going? But what else we got going on in this? That's it, right? Really?
Yeah, don't forget today we're gonna do a Facebook live show.
Oh yeah, good call. 6:30
yeah,
Eastern Standard Time, and this
we're gonna
starts
talk about
audio
control.
audio control. I don't know. Yeah. So this starts the official 2-week ramp up to Knowledge Fest Cali.
Yep.
They're our official sponsor. So this tonight, make sure you tune in. We're going to talk about, and I talked to Chris. So hopefully we're going to get. Well, we'll just leave it at that. I talked to Chris, so there's going to be some new fun stuff to talk about there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what we're going to do.
But tonight we're going to, we do have one cool thing that just happened in the audio control land that we want to talk about. So that'll be fun there. Have you guys had any trouble using the RCAs on the Alpine 801X made for the Golf? We don't get that one. It has a tiny plug where the RCA splits into 3. When I use another head unit, everything is okay. I mean, all the Alpines have that goofy little plug on them, you know, that goes off the RCAs, and we've never had an issue with it. So I guess that's the only thing I can think of there. What amps are recommended for Rockford T2 components on front and R1s on the back? So my personal preference, if I can get the customer to do it, I like to go with a T404 and a T402. I take the 404, channel 1 and 2 go to tweeters, 3 and 4 go to go to rear, and then on the 404 I put that on the mid bass. So I like to do that scenario if I can, because usually when we're doing those amps we don't have a lot of room. Obviously an audio controlled D61200 would be good if you wanted to go full active, or if you wanted to use the so the nice thing about the T components is you can go full active through the crossover because it's biampable. And for those who don't know what biampable means, it just so happens that the FLAC speakers are also biampable. And where do I have the crossovers? I have the crossovers right here. So if you look at this crossover, what you see is it has 2 sets of inputs, and right now these have jumpers in. The Rockfords have just a little switch. So if we wanted to, we could run an amp to the tweeter and then out to the tweeter, into the mid-range, out to the mid-range. So that would allow us, if the amplifier we're using doesn't have the 10 times multiplier switch or the bandpass capability built into its crossover, we could still go active, but use a passive crossover. So it's like a pass active. So you still get the level control from the amplifier to control your output volume as far as where you want to attenuate things, but you have fixed crossover points because they're coming from this as opposed to being constantly variable. So it's a lot of fun there. What amps? Okay, so let's move on. Is a titanium tweeter harsher than a soft dome, or is it based on manufacturer? If you mean harsh tinty, yeah, a metal tweeter is going to be brighter, so to speak, most of the time. Yeah, I mean, kind of that mid between the two is the Hertz tweeter. Like on the Millie Pros, that tweeter gets unnaturally bright for a dome cloth tweeter, as opposed to like the Rockford, which I think would be way over to the other side of just like sound. I was going to ask about that today. Okay. I meant to bypass the start-stop feature. Oh, on the current Subarus. Do you know the name of the company we use for start-stop?
No.
I'll tell you what. If you tune in tonight on the show, I'll try to get the name of the company we use for stop-start, and I'll let you know. So we'll be live 6:30, or you can just watch the rebroadcast, of course. What's next for the Camaro and Fernando's Infiniti? Next for the Camaro, of course, is to just get something in it would be a good place to start there.
Yeah.
As far as your car, right now the DM810 is in there because he's getting ready to teach a class for audio control, so he's going through all the steps to just make sure, everything is, he can do it in his sleep. Once we get back from Knowledge Fest, then we'll move on to the head unit is got to go in there. So, that'll be the first thing. So the GS9 Sony is going to be like the first thing we do probably when we get back.
Yeah.
Is just get that in there. I'm trying to get them to... I want to put a high 10 in there.
And now we have a new subwoofer. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got a new subwoofer today. So Jackie, our Rockford rep, stopped by and dropped this off for Fernando. Dropped him off T110. This was in his car, and he doesn't need it anymore. And he's like, Fernando was saying how he really wanted a T110. Mike Sajecki always hooks us up, so he brought it over and said, Fernando, you have your T110, my friend. So, CD giveaway tonight. No, we're not going to be doing any CD giveaways tonight. Bobby, don't worry about it. You get the Uber. No, we're not doing CDs. We got to figure that out. We have the 4 that I have to ship out, and then once we get that all taken care of, we'll probably next month is when we get to those, all the Jeff CDs. So, We also don't want to give them all away, like, right away. We got to kind of, like... like nurse this thing along, How does the high energy Hertz compare to the Millie Pro? So the Millie Pro, what'd you say? The Millie Pro is a little bit more musical sounding?
Yeah, Millie Pro.
Yeah, I mean, I think when they went from the high energy to the Millie, they kind of like figured things out and just made it better. At first I was kind of like on the fence on whether or not I like the Millie Pros.
Okay.
But the more we've done, and we've done a bunch of them, I really like the Millie Pros. I really like what they've done to that speaker. That they, because I really liked the high energy just because they were what they said they were. They were high energy. It was just in your face. But I think the Millie Pros are still in your face, but they're not like rude about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. So there you go. So if you have the option, definitely go with the Millie Pros.
If you already have the high energies, you're fine.
Cento Pros.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the... need a thin subwoofer for sound quality. 10-inch? Yes, of course. This guy. Which we did a comparison of a couple weeks ago. This guy, the Arc Audio SW Series woofer, shallow mount, super shallow. I believe they have it in a 10 and a 12. Super cool. Check that guy out. See what you think about that one. I want to bypass... Okay, we got that. Yeah, stop start is very annoying. Titanium tweeters harsh compared to... Okay. All right, did we already hit all this? Yep, we did. What am I doing? Passive, active. Oh, good one. Pest active. Sorry I asked the same question twice. Sorry, it's okay. It's okay. No problem. Glad I answered it. Have you guys ever worked on a Mitsubishi with a premium Rockford Fosgate sound system? It's a pain to change the sub in the factory location. Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, Mitsubishi as a whole. I'm going to preface this with I owned a Mitsubishi Eclipse and loved that car. Loved it. It was like that was like my first love affair with the car. I bought it brand new in 1993.
Oh, wow.
I had to think about that one because it was in 93, 97. But that was like my first love affair with a car. And it was the third car I owned, fourth car I owned, something like that. And third car I owned. Love that car. That car had so many stereos in it. and they were all beautiful, and I had a blast with it. I don't think I have any pictures left of it. Took road trips, proposed to my wife in that car. Yeah, right? Oh, yeah. What was that? Why did it just chime? Oh, random chiming. Awesome. But yeah, Mitsubishi's, that particular, trying to do that, yeah, pain in the butt. I really appreciate all you have taught us, Dean. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome. Rockford Fosgate T2 or Morel. Oh, okay. Sound quality-wise, the Morel is going to spank that Rockford. Hands down. Now, if you like that loud speaker sound, like that, just like, you know, Limp Bizkit, you know, kind of thing, which that was a way throwback. Most of you guys probably don't know what Limp Bizkit is, or Limp Bizkit is. But if you want something sound quality-wise, definitely the Morel. Hands down. It won't be as loud, though. Camaro trade-in time for a convertible. Bobby, you're speaking my language, my friend. Yes, I've said it many times. I desperately want a convertible, and I'm not getting any younger. I'm not 50 yet, so I'm trying to hold out for 50. Just so if I do decide to get like a convertible Corvette or something like that, I can fit the part. I'll go buy some jean shorts. I already have a couple denim jackets. You know, I'll get some T-shirts that have Corvette logos on them. I'll be totally like, yeah, that guy. What car are you working on? This is a 2019 Toyota Camry. And what we're doing is we're putting in 2 audio control amps, what I like to call my 5-channel favorite, which is the D 4.800 and the LC 1.800. We've built an amp rack that's going to screw into these spots here as well as along the roof here. This is it. Is going to attach up in. Now the cool thing about this car is behind these panels right here, that area right there, that is a hole that goes into the car. Normally there's a big piece of foam there. We've taken that out because we've, as you can see, already taken most of the car apart. That's those pieces of foam there and there. We'll put those back in when we're done. But what we got going on is these 2 amplifiers. So there's an amp board for the amp board so that these don't interfere. Like we don't have all the zip ties sticking out through that amp board. So that's what's going in. D, LC, 2 crossovers, 2 turntables and a microphone. All right, here we go. Victor asks, if and when you get the new Pioneer 9-inch radios, please record it. Yeah, we'll be getting them in, and the plan is to record it. So, definitely. Fernando, get a Frostbite box for your 10-inch. They don't make a ported box. And we also just talked to... yeah, we'll get to that later. At least they don't make a ported box yet. I would. Best bang for your buck 3-way component sets. Access. Focal Access. The Focal Access 3-way set, best bang for the buck, no doubt about it. 3-way, Foley. Thanks for the Hertz info, guys. No problem. What double din dash kit would you recommend for a 2010 Scion XB? Metra. Metra is going to be the one that makes little winglets for that, and I like their winglets better than I like the Best Kit's winglets, so Metra. A friend of mine has an Eagle Talon and all-wheel drive. Ooh, that was an awesome car. I did not have that. I was just a broke installer at the time. Hi, America, from Brazil.
Hey.
That's Americar.
Americar.
All right, so we talked about that. Chocolate Starfish, baby, all the way. Did it for the nookie. Fernando should get... Okay, we already... Wow, I like how... Yep. Coming... yep. Yep. What? These Nuts Uber is coming to town. Bobby picked us up at the airport. How does the Focal Auditor sound? Just pick up yourself something other than those. And we'll just call it that. You know, they make those speakers because everyone... So, like, if you're a Focal fan and you can't afford access or you can't afford the integration, then they make the Auditor so that you can just say you have Focals. Everyone does it. It's not just them. Like, Hertz makes the Unos. Morel makes a version of that. Everyone has that entry-level speaker. Not a fan of any of them. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to buy some Kicker CS, some KS, some Exelons, some Pioneer, the D-Series. There's plenty of them out there that are about the same amount of money that are way better. Best way to go about bypassing factory Bose amp stereo in 07 Yukon Denali. 07 is an old one. Pull the center console out and make an amplifier bypass plug. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's pull the center console. It's in the center console. If it's
yeah,
Bose,
that's what we did. Yeah,
Bose center console. Or if you don't want to pull the center console out, all your wiring is right there when you pull the cup holder out, and it's all standard colors.
Yeah.
The same colors they've been using forever. You got tan gray for the front drivers. You got light green, dark green. You got light blue, dark blue, and you got brown, yellow. They're all the same, and they're right there in that cup holder. So you can get them right there. DJ, 6.5 components or kicker CS. Ooh.
Ooh.
So I can tell you right now, the CS is going to have a better punch to them. I mean, they're going to have a little bit more bass to them. The DCs might be a little bit louder because those are like a 3.4, 3.6 ohm and super efficient. Super efficient. Those are kind of like the go-to speakers we do. And like Toyotas that have like that funky 2 ohm speaker, or the Nissans that have the funky 2 ohm speaker, and they just want an inexpensive replacement for it, we'll just do those because they're so efficient, man. They just get loud so fast. Have a great afternoon, guys. Last one. Hey, guys, going to be scheduled system installed by late spring. I have all my equipment. I'll just have the premium sound deadening radio DSP 2019 Chevy Traxxas. See you then. Cool. Just set it up with Paul, and you'll be all set. All right, guys, that's it for now. Make sure you tune in tonight, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook. We'll be doing the Facebook Live show, Car Stereo Talk with Tina and Fernando. Yeah, it's only like, I don't know, 4 years been doing that show. You guys have a great day. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, man.
Hey.
What you got going on there? Another overly complicated fuse holder mount?
I'm trying to make it down right here. No. Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be double, so.
Yeah, nice and long.
Nice and long.
Perfect.
Yeah, pretty much.
Omni Inc. What's up, buddy? Yeah, so you're finishing up. That's the last step we got left on the Toyota. We've been really making some time. Anthony, what's up? Anthony's Car Stereo Life. Car Audio Life. My bad. I always get that backwards. Anyway, so Fernando's finishing this up. We went red loom on this one because Fernando was like, dude, we should do red. And I was like, why? He goes, because he's like, it's so colorful. And he's like, I'm like, okay. So if you guys caught that earlier, it's very colorful. He liked the red. I originally did it in black, and then I had to pull it all off because he wanted red. A couple things that are different about this one, though, is because this is going to mount up here into this. So this is all just going to lift up, screw into place. You have the rivets going across the back deck, those across the front. It's going to be real difficult to get to the USB. So that is attached into the car and will be stuck up behind here in this area. So it'll be easy to get to. But everything else is done. Some of you guys asked what this stuff is. That is wire care. Here we go. Come on. I'm sorry, electroduct. So this is electroduct. So this is 1/2 inch, 3-to-1 shrink. Heat shrink. We carry them in obviously a bunch of different colors. We have clear, but that's what that is. 3-to-1. If you guys have asked in the past, what's like 2-to-1, 3-to-1, and what does all that mean? Exactly. It will shrink 3-to-1 its size, 2-to-1 its size. Should I run a capacitor on my tweeter running active? Not a fan personally. Some guys like to do it. Go for it. But no, I don't. I set the crossover right, and just go from there.
I'm gonna make noise.
He's gonna make noise. Let's see what he's gonna make noise doing. Safety first.
Oh yeah.
That's too fat.
No, yes, it's too fat.
All right, let's scoop back some. Okay, so that looked way worse than it was. It was actually that far away from his finger. From this perspective, it's like you're just gonna cut your fingers off. So, will you build me an amp rack? Will you pay me for it? I mean, that's pretty much how that works. Anyways, so that's finished back there. Now, the cool thing, so this, just in case, this is a 2019 Toyota Corolla. Toyota Camry, thank you. There again, what is with Toyota? And stretch out a little bit, get a few more letters in the alphabet. So 2019 Camry, non-JBL. That's why we're doing the D, so we can get all the crossover points and EDSP and fix everything. but there's this cool little spot right here for the bass knob. So that's really, I like that. Because this all has to come out to get behind it. Metra makes the harnesses for this. You can just order those online. The cool thing about this radio, and I'm sorry I put it all back together, is that the speaker wires are all on their own little harness. So there's this 10-pin plug that has all the speaker wires on it. That's it. So like nothing else has to be unplugged except for that plug. And Metra makes a male and female end for it. That was it. I was like, oh, this is so cool. So that was pretty neat. The shop looks bigger video than it is, but it's very organized. Oh yeah, it's tiny. Like, our shop is small. Everyone that comes in here, that's always the first thing they say. Like, wow, Dean, you're not as tall as I thought. I'm like, no, Fernando's just as short as you think. And the shop is actually quite tiny in here. It's just enough for one car. Currently running JL Audio C2s in my 2000 Civic. About to switch to Kicker KS for this year. Make sure you wait until the new ones come out. The new ones are all gold, so get the gold ones. They're so much better. How about that Dayton Audio DSP 408? How about it? I just got done with the bathroom. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. We reviewed it. We gave it away. Didn't like it. But what we did pick up today, I just got in. I paid for this. I ordered it. JL's not a sponsor of the show, but you guys asked so much about JL. I bought one of these, so I bought a Tweak 88. Came in today. A buddy of mine is a JL dealer. Dropped it off this morning. So, yay. We'll be able to answer more questions about that. I just didn't want to show the software. How can the CS 6x8 components mid can be blown, but not the tweeter? Oh, wow. Yeah, well, I will tell you that they do put a light bulb in those CS components to prevent that. So maybe do a tone and make sure it's not the crossover that's bad. Make sure that it is actually the speaker that's bad. Just a thought. But yeah, test the speaker. I mean, if you already tested the speaker, then yeah, it sucks. But make sure you test the speaker and not just through the crossover. All right, hold on. Love the Tweak 88. I'm a big fan of it too. I mean, I really like their software. I like the VXI stuff. I think it makes sense. I know a lot of people that I've talked to, and every time I say that, they go, how about the mini DSP? How about it? Dude, it's right there. Loving it. Yeah, we played with this a little bit. We haven't gotten too deep into it. Like, we haven't shot a video on it, but we've been taking this in and out of Fernando's car. It was in his car. And before we could talk about it, we had to take it out because we had to put the DM810 in there because he's going to be doing the Spanish class at Knowledge Fest. So, and right now, Audio Control is a sponsor of the show. So we're dealing with audio control at the moment. But as soon as that's over, we're going to get back to this guy, the mini DSP, because it's really cool. And I'd like to get it in my car so that because I have a center channel in my car, and I'd really like to use the upmixing center channel, but that would mean actually putting an amplifier in. Oh yeah, fun there. One of these days, of course, if those 45th anniversary amps, you know, whatever. I know, right? It's so silly. First DSP, but extremely happy with it. Oh yeah, I mean, yes. So if we're talking about that, which I think we are, we're talking about, oh, he's going to cut some more stuff. This time use the push thing so you don't hurt yourself. Yeah, the Dayton is a great first DSP because regardless of the product itself and how, like, it is, the software still gets your mind thinking about what a DSP is, how it works, what it's made to do. And really, at the end of the day, that's what matters, is that you're getting your hands on, you're getting dirty, you're getting in the trenches, you're seeing what these buttons and dials can do for you to make things sound better. And then after you've kind of like gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I've pushed this as far as I can push it, and I'm not going to get anything else out of it, that's when you buy something bigger and better. And that's just how that works. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you. So we put flex speaker, all the Focal flex speakers in this, and I wanted to show, what's up? Oh, it reminds me, I gotta make a phone call today. So here's the factory. So this is a 6x9 that's converted into a 7. So this is like the Kenwood 7-inch right here, but let me flip this over. Okay, this is what we're looking at right here. All right, little neo magnet, just it's all plastics. Like this is just all plastic. Very small surround. So a lot of people ask, why would I, if I have speakers, why would I put new speakers in? This is the rear speaker. Dude, this literally is the lightest speaker I've ever held in my hands. Look at it. So look how tiny that voice coil is. Like, what do I have to compare it to? I don't have anything because I got small hands, so this is not really helping here. But there again, this is a regular magnet. So this is, this is a standard size magnet. It's not a Neo like this one. Standard, but look how tiny that is. Okay, put it in perspective. The speaker in the dash has a bigger magnet than the one for the rear does. All right, I mean, really, this is as good as this is. This is your rear speaker in your Toyota, and of course, this is your dash speaker. Out of all these speakers, honestly, this one here is probably the best one. These are garbage. But when we're talking about efficiency, these guys super efficient. Like they you can put like a watt to this thing and it'll just go crazy. So, all right, hold on. Let's go back. I was thinking since Frostbite aren't ported, Fernando should get a acrylic Bobby Gately ported box for the 10. Why do you have to say that, Bobby? I mean, you should see him over there now. He's like, oh, that's a great idea. We should do that. How about we don't?
We should do that.
I mean, we should. Ugh. Thanks, Bobby.
Bobby is the best.
Yeah, right? Those are expensive but great. There again, I know. All right, let me go back here. JL sent a cap with the C7 tweeter. Is that because you should or if you want to use it? Okay, now, here's the deal. The manufacturer, the people that build the stuff, say to do something some way, do it that way, okay? That's a no-brainer. So if they're sending you a cap and they're like, hey, use this cap, use the cap. Use it, okay? It's not going to hurt anything to use it, so you might as well use it. There again, every other brand we deal with, they don't send a cap. They're like, hey, if you're buying this, you should be good enough to figure out how to set the crossover properly. So go from there. But it ain't going to hurt anything. Took a mid out, tried the stock speaker, and I have sound. Is there a specific test I can run on a crossover to make sure it is not the cause for a blown speaker? If you test the speaker and it works, and then you test before the crossover and it doesn't work, it's the crossover. So that's really what you have to test. So if you've hooked up your factory speaker to the output of the crossover and it works, and it's a blown speaker. So you've tested it. So if you've done that test, then you've tested it, you're good. It's definitely the speaker's bad. It happens. My guess is you probably have the high pass crossover maybe too low and you're getting way too much bass out of them. Just a thought. Something like a 5x7, depends on how much power you have on it. I typically like to start those at 100 and go up from there. So 100, 120, if the customer's just banging, playing like nonstop bass music, something that has a lot of bass, I might go all the way up to 150. 124 or 120 at 24 dB isn't bad, but you just, that's why we always say isolate when you're doing your crossover. So listen to the speaker and see how it sounds without playing the subwoofer. If you play it with the subwoofer, you're not going to know what it's actually doing because the subwoofer is going to be drowning it out. So something to think about. Going back up here. Big D oh yeah, I know Big D has one. Did you guys check out Big D's F-150 video? His reviewed his Bang & Olufsen system and the F-150. And of course, we contributed a little bit to that. He asked us to. It was a lot of fun. I always like helping the guys out over there. We're gonna hopefully expand on that throughout the years. I like Vega. I like Big D. They're fun guys. But one thing I have to say, not about his video, about people that were commenting on it, on understanding that Bang & Olufsen. So little FYI, Harman International is a big audio conglomerate. They own JBL, they own Infinity, they own Bang & Olufsen. They also own Mark Levinson and about a dozen other companies that a lot of them are made in your car. They own JBL. So they own a lot of it. So they're also recently, last year, got bought by Samsung. So moral to all this is there was a couple guys who were like, dude, my Infinity system sounds so much better, and these guys don't know what they're doing. It's all the same guys. It's all the same guys. They're all one big happy company. The reason why Harman bought Bang & Olufsen was because they wanted the name so that they could sell it to things like Audi and Ford, and because all the other names are starting to get played. Like, how many times are you going to do an Infinity system? Bose is really the only one that has a lot of staying power, I feel.
Right.
You know, it's really weird. Like, everyone will drink the Bose Kool-Aid forever, and then, but all the other ones, not so much. Thoughts on Rockford Fosgate Prime dual 2-ohm sub? We're talking like the R series primes. I mean, they're okay. It's an inexpensive woofer. We don't really do much with them. You know, if I would buy a P1. You know, personally, I'd just go up a little bit more and get the P1. Better sub. Is there anywhere I can order Stinger accessories online in small amounts? No, because they actually don't package them in small amounts. They only come in amounts of 100 for like crib caps and stuff like that. Is it hard to find a box for a crew cab truck, or it's better to have one made? No, it's not hard. No. I mean, we find them all the time. So if Frostbite should have one, if they don't have one, NTI might have one. If they don't have one, Fox Box may have one if you want one that's like silly loud. There again, Bobby Gately I know makes one for a couple different trucks. And then what's the brand that we use? The other stuff? A-Trend makes some. Yeah. A-Trend makes affordably nice ones. And then what's the other one? What's the Q-Power. Q-Power also makes them.
Yeah,
so
but just go for the A-Trend.
Oh yeah, I mean any Q-Power was the last one we mentioned because that'd be the last one I'd look at, but there you go. They're all over the place. Whoa, what did I do there? Can I mix front 6x9 components and 7-inch Kenwoods in rear deck for Camry speakers, OEM radio, non-JBL? Yeah. I mean, the tweeters are all the same. Yeah, go for it. That'll work. Do you know at what level input and output does the Dayton DSP start to distort? Hey, Mark from Cardio Fabricator. What's going on, buddy? No. The problem we had with the Dayton is, like, we couldn't get it to work properly at all. Like, it was like, it didn't matter if we went high level, low level. We never got it to sound good. And that, to me, was why we just were like, I'm out. I can't take this. See ya. You know, and it shouldn't be that hard. Like, with all the DSPs we played with, I mean, hell, we just plugged the Zapco in, didn't do anything, and it sounded amazing. You know, it was like, wow. You know, and just doing the basic setup, it was like, Jesus, man, this is just because of the sound and that was really, it's a really good DSP, and there was like no effort into it. Now I'm not talking about clarity, and I'm just talking like straight through pass through sound. When you turn on a DSP, it was like, you know, you can immediately tell you have to do some adjustment. Yeah. Anyways, gotta thanks. Any 6x8 recone kits? No. Because they probably cost as much as the speakers. Hi guys. Okay, did that one. Hey Mark. What's up guys? Q-Bomb. Oh, yeah, Q-Bomb. Q-Power Q-Bomb. There you go. The Rhino lined ones.
Yeah, that's the same.
The Rhino lined ones. Get the Rhino line. If you got to go that, get the Rhino line for sure. Would you pick a newer silver kicker, KW1005 or JL Audio? So there again, I'm not the biggest JL Audio fan. I have nothing against them. I'm not totally familiar with all their products. I like kicker. So I would probably go kicker just on name alone. That's it. So I mean, it's not really. I don't know if I'm the guy you should ask that question to. There again, both really good cars parked in the parking lot. I don't think you're gonna be bad either way. So it's like, you know, do I take the GMC Sierra or do I take the Silverado? You know, I think the kicker will probably be a little bit more power, but Q class. You want the Q class. What's a good option for a center channel speaker under 5 inches? I have 250 watts. Under 5 inches? Well, any 4-inch will do then. I mean, wow, that's a pretty big size. I mean, so depending on who you talk to, there's a thing called either timbre or timbre. And what that is that's when you have multiple speakers that are all the same make and model. So, for example, let's look at these again. We'll go back to this Toyota Sound. Okay, these all have the same sound signature, meaning they're all going to play basically the same. They're going to complement one another. That means that the timbre/timbre, whichever one you use, works, meaning there's not going to be one in the car that doesn't sound right. In this particular replacement, we have the Focal Flax here, Focal Flax tweeter there, and we have the Focal coaxial in the back. Now, the tweeter in that speaker is identical to the tweeter that's there, and the mid bass is identical to the one there. So they all have the same sound signature. If I was going to put a center channel in this, I would want to find a Focal Flax speaker that matches in size to the ones I've currently put in there, meaning I wouldn't just want to grab some strange mid-range and throw it in the center of the dash. I want it to match the performance of the speakers I'm currently using. So if you're trying to find a center channel, what you want to look at is what you have in your front doors or your rear deck, the speakers you're using, and you want to match it up to that. Now, if all that fails, meaning there is nothing out there that comes close to what you're trying to do, they don't make a 4-inch, they don't make a 5 1/4, well, then venture out and try to find something that has similar specs to what you're putting in. Is REW needed when you tune the Helix? So, yeah, an RTA is needed. So regardless of whether you're going to use REW, whether you're going to use a DMRTA, whether you're going to use a handheld, whether you're going to use an iTest mic, whatever you're going to use, you need to have some form of RTA, because our ears aren't that cool. I mean, and there's way too much adjustment to just kind of wing it. Rocket Fox 8 DSR1 literally says it has an adjustment. Okay, an adjustable turn-on delay, but can't find it in the Perfect Tune apps. Thoughts? That's a good question. I know what you're talking about, and I don't know if I've ever seen that either. I'll tell you what, if I have time later today or tonight, I'll see if I can open it up and find it. But I've never seen one either. Hey, have you ever seen a turn-on delay in the Tune It app? I've never seen one. For Rockford, I've never seen a delay setting in there. But, you know, the other thing too is, here's a thought. So, tomorrow night on 12 Volt Talk with Big D Wiz and Vega, they're going to have Eric from Rockford on. Eric is the guy who does the RTTI, which is the tech support stuff. That would be a great question for him. Now, if you can't get it answered by him by then, we're going to have him next month too. It'll actually be live here. So they're going to do it on their laptop deal, video chat. We're going to actually have him here. So that would be a great question to ask him. But in the meantime, I'll see if I can dig it out. But good question. Definitely tune in tomorrow night with those guys. Yep, I'm a Kicker fanboy. I know, Bobby. Thoughts on the Beateroo, please. Kicker shallow sub boxes. I'm so super excited about that box coming out. You got to think about it. When it comes to downfiring enclosures, when we do the standalones, like our favorite downfiring woofer that's in that price range is the Kicker Comp RT. That's all we do downfiring is we put them in the Q-Power, Q-Bomb downfiring box. So now that I can just sell you a factory box, oh yes, so awesome. So yeah, I was a big advocate of that, and that was actually when I was there, one of the things that we were talking about. I was like, when are we going to get a downfiring box with this woofer? And I just got that funny look on my face, or they gave me that funny look on their face, like, I don't know. I'm like, what does that mean? So was totally not surprised to see that one come out. They didn't say anything about it, obviously, but no. Now what I want is a downfiring L7T box. So that has to come out next because they already have that wedge. And if this box does well, you know that one's going to follow. And I'm super excited about that. I want that box more than that RT box because that thing sounds awesome. Their little factory box for that L7T. What are your thoughts? Yeah, it's nice, right? Yeah. Timber is what I yell when a tree falls in the forest, right? I know, right? Running Alpine X Series components right now. Well, don't let them get away. Those are expensive speakers, and they do sound good. Those are some of the best like high-res audio speakers
Uh-huh.
because they don't sound like they'd be high-res audio speakers. You know, like when you listen to the Pioneer Z series,
Yeah.
those sound like high-res. Like they sound like they're playing up to 40,000 hertz, even though our ears can't hear that, or 44,000 hertz, whatever the hell it is. Those sound like they'll do that. The Alpine the Alpine Z types just sound good, which is funny. All right. What made you get rid of your Halo, Dean? For one, I didn't want to pay for it, so it was just a loaner. It was the one we were getting ready to put on display, so that was the main reason why I went bye-bye. But, okay, the reason why I went bye-bye so fast is because Alpine doesn't use a dimmer wire for their radios. So at nighttime, they have a photo strobe on the front of the unit that gets dark. It's so close to my face and it's so big, at nighttime, it wouldn't get dark fast enough, so it was like driving with the sun as a co-pilot. It just was way too bright for me. I couldn't take it. I'm real sensitive to that kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. But that was the reason why I got rid of it. It had nothing to do with anything other than it not being able to dim. Sad, right?
Yeah. No, it's perfectly fine.
But that's why we got rid of it. It was nothing other than that. Some people, that's cool. Like, it never gets bright enough. Ready for Super Bowl Sunday? No, because I have to do all the cooking. Oh, we did figure out what we're going to make, though.
Oh, really? What are you
Yeah, we're going to make... Yeah. What did we make for Christmas? What was that thing Haley made for Christmas? Baked ziti. So we're going to make sausage baked ziti. I'm going to have to make it this time, though. And then I don't know who's playing, so yay, go team, go. Go my favorite sports team. Sure. Any experience with replacing the 8.4 Uconnect system in a 2014 Cherokee with something like a Halo 9? No. But the kits are coming out. I know that. Like the metric kit, the pack kit should be out soon. I think that's what that one's for. Hey, Dean, hope you and Fernando are doing well. Hey, man, what kit can I use to screen mirror my Android to my Pioneer 3500 NEX? All right, so first thing you have to find out on any phone, it doesn't matter whether it's an Android, an iPhone, is how do you get an HDMI output out of your phone? That is key. First things first. So you have to go online and you have to figure out how that's done. Like Samsung has a USB-C to HDMI adapter that's made by Samsung you have to buy. Apple has a Lightning connector. A couple other phones have connectors that they make all by themselves that are just to do that. Once you've figured out how to get an HDMI out of the phone, then you can get the iSimple Media Links, which is just basically HDMI to RCAs. Plug it into the AV input on the back of your Pioneer, and you're good to go. But that first step is the hardest one, and that's something we can't help you with because we have iPhones and Samsung. I just put a 259 in my personal car. So far, so good. There again. Oh, 49ers and Chiefs. Yeah, you said that. Oh, no, like I said, the radio was great. I was super excited to have it. That dimming thing drove me up the wall. That's why I'm not even going to go there. Ever put 7-inch mid-bass in an F-150 door that has a 5x7 and a stock speaker? I don't think so. We've never done that.
5x7?
Yeah, it has that 5x7, so we'd have to make a 5x7, a 6x8. I mean, depending on if it was the year that we did the Raptor year, that door panel that has the big square grill on it, yeah, you could totally do it. That wouldn't be an issue. I mean, it would totally fit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we fit those giant T2s in there, so it's only like a quarter inch bigger than that.
Correct.
But I feel like the older F-150s, you have the door that lifts up kind of thing that wouldn't fit. But yeah, I don't see any problem with that. Kenwood DDX 371 rear channel stop playing when using Bluetooth. Really? That's got to be a setting. Maybe restore the radio. Go into the radio, restore it, reset it. That's all I can think about. But no, that's a setting for sure. Yeah. Yeah, because that doesn't have dual zone. Oh, dang it. I didn't want to do that. All right. Would it work to run the Focal ISU 690 mids on the rear channel and tweeters on the front channels with deck power until I get an amp? I will not be as loud that way. or will it not be as loud that way? Really, it just comes down. Oh no, okay. So those have passive crossovers. That'd be no different than doing network mode on a Pioneer or a Kenwood. Yeah, you can do that because it's all because those are all break apart crossovers. Yeah, I would do that for sure. That wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, totally do it. Heidi and Hertz D-Cheese or Infinity Kappas. Ooh. Man, you know what? Right off the top of my head, I was thinking Kappas.
Yeah.
I was thinking Kappas right off the top of my head. Those D-Cheese are so loud so quick, though, because they're super efficient. Like, it takes, like, no power to just get those things screaming. But then I feel they scream. But, yeah, ooh, man. What are you thinking? I'm thinking Kappas.
I'm thinking Kappas.
I'm thinking Kappas.
Let's go for the Kappas.
And now, there again, go up to the next thing, which is Centos, and then we have a conversation there. Went from 2012 PRS 80 to the 259, such a solid upgrade. Yeah, no doubt. Now you got that 9-band, or does that have 9-band? I don't remember what that has, but no, the Alpine 259. Does that have a 9-band parametric EQ? I think it does. I like that. Made no difference since I have a Bit 1. Oh, in that case, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just a cool screen. Does a 6x8 fit in an E150 van front door? I have no idea. Pioneer does have a speaker on their Pioneer. They do have a speaker size checker, so you can like type in the make, model, and year. That's pioneerelectrics.com and see if things fit. It's usually a lot more accurate than the stuff that Crutchfield has. Hey Dean, can I meet up with you in LA to possibly talk about a build? I mean, we'll be there if you find us. We don't know what hotel we're going to be in as far as Thursday. We're going to have time to meet people on Thursday. So in the morning from like 10 to 2 or whatever, we're going to be in the LA area at the what's the name of the museum? Peterson. We're going to the Peterson Museum, then we're going to walk over to the La Brea Tar Pits. We're going to walk over to Light Pulse so Fernando can see all that stuff. And then we're going to head our way back over to whatever hotel we're going to stay in. And then after that, we're going to be rocking and rolling. So Thursday is really our only day open. That's why we're like, if you're in LA or if you're in Long Beach and you want to meet us, Thursday's the day to do it. As far as what hotel we're going to be staying at now, we don't know. So we don't know where we're going to be doing the Thursday meetup yet. But we will be there all day Thursday. So we hang out. We go till the wee hours in the morning. But come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be entrenched in our job. So, we have a bunch of trainings we have to put on. We have a bunch of trainings we have to go to. We have a bunch of events we have to do. So, but yeah, if you can find us, we'll be there. We're also going to do a live show Thursday at some point, too.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah. Okay, so Virtus 602s versus Audison Voce AV K6s. Ooh, well, isn't the Voce... Oh, man. Okay, so...
Oh.
Man, that's a tough one. Because they're very similar. I feel they're very similar. I mean, I'm going to fall... Okay, so there again. You're asking the wrong guy because you put, like, my favorite speaker against something else. So I can't be unbiased here. Right. I'm not going to be unbiased. I mean, they're both great speakers. They're both great speakers. But I'm also always going to go with the Morel because I love Morel, and that's full honesty. But that's not taking anything away from the Virtus because it's an awesome speaker also. So, I mean, you're going to get an awesome speaker either way. So whichever one you can wrap your head around, buy it. You guys are awesome. Love your work. I used to be an installer 30 years ago and haven't lost a bug. Keep up the good work. I used to be an installer 30 years ago, too.
And you keep doing it.
It sucks.
That's insane.
I know, right? Oh, my God. Have you tried the new Prime amps? No, we haven't. They're not out yet. They're not out in shipping yet. Eric is going to bring one in February when he's on the show. So
Hopefully.
Eric will be on 12-volt talk with Rob and Big D Wiz tomorrow night. And then we'll have him here live in the install bay on the 15th. So February 15th, he'll be here. He's bringing some of the amplifiers. We're going to talk all about Prime and all the new Prime. So if you can wait, because it's going to be the Prime show. We're just going to talk about Prime. And I think they have some motorsport stuff, too. We might graze across and talk about that kind of stuff. Man, love the show. Keep up the good work. Will do. Are you almost done?
I'm almost done.
I'm basically just stalling for time with Fernando because I can't do anything until he gets his power hooked up. So if you're wondering like why he's doing all the work and I'm not doing anything, because we're just waiting for him to finish hooking up the batteries, and then I have to take over and he gets to sit there and do this with his thumbs. I wish I could mirror my 259. That's the only complaint. Yeah, wireless CarPlay would be really cool on Alpine. And the funny part, like, the 107 is gone. So the 107 is gone. It's out of the line. Right. I mean, they're still available. But now that there's no 107, they have no wireless CarPlay radios. Now, there's a reason for it. So, like, if you looked at Alpine this year and you're thinking, okay, wait, what did they come out with this year that was, like, any cool? So they came out with boxes. So that was cool. They came out with the 9-inch, which... it's just a bigger version of the Halo, so it wasn't like it took a lot of rocket scientry there to just put a bigger screen on the mount. And then they have the DSP, which the DSP was available overseas, so it wasn't like they again had to do anything other than say, hey Japan, can we get that here in the U.S.? Oh yeah, sure, here you go. That was just like the 850s, same thing. It's been available for 3 years overseas. The reason for it is because Alpine actually moved from California to Michigan. Now let me put that. Alpine moved from sunny California to snowy Michigan. The reason why they did that is so it could be closer to the American car manufacturers that are in Michigan, so that they could become, get more OE stuff. But because of that move, a lot of product development and new things get kind of squished, and it was like we're only going to do a limited amount of cool stuff this year. If you look at like the 6-channel amplifier that came out, that R-Type line had already come out the previous year, and that was the only amplifier that wasn't replaced in it. So there again, it took them like 2 years to develop that amplifier. But that's why Alpine didn't do a lot of like radios and wireless stuff. So we can only assume it's coming. We can only assume because they don't tell us anything. So, anyways, yeah. Can I sound deaden in cold weather? I'm in Toronto. Ooh, I wouldn't. Ooh, no, you'd have to heat up the car. You don't want to put that stuff on cold. Ugh, yeah. I mean, if you have a heated garage and you can heat the stuff up to room temperature, and the room temperature is about 60, 70 degrees, yeah. But I wouldn't put it on anything colder than that. That it's just going to peel off. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
It's not gonna stick.
How do you split RCA cable for high to low? I don't think I understand the question.
What?
Well, it says how do you split RCA cable for high to low? If you mean like how do you create an RCA cable to do like if like an amplifier like that has an RCA input that's also high to low, you cut the head off, that kind of thing, or just, I don't know. I mean, we use the Stinger X series little pigtail ends. I don't think this is what you're asking, but we use these guys here from Stinger. That's the part number, and it has RCAs on one end and speaker wire on the other, and this is what we use to do all our stuff. But otherwise, Y jacks are really nice. Is Fernando a lefty? No, he's a righty. We're just getting backwards because of the whole, we're using the camera. We're not using the front camera, we're using the back camera. High level inputs to Helix Mini or low level? I mean, if you have an aftermarket radio, I would do high level. Or I'm sorry, I would do low level. Yeah, Fernando is really going at it. Yeah, he is, because he knows that, like, we're watching him. Are there any good 6x9 components coming out soon? I mean, there's already some really good 6x9 components out now. As far as what is left to come out, Kickers KS is going to be starting to ship here. But I think everyone has pretty much covered the board on that. I've never heard any of the Blam stuff, so I don't know. New Kickers, yep. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like 6x9s, I think we've pretty much gotten everyone on board with 6x9s. That's gonna do it. Let's see what you grinding away over there. You grinding away over there? What are you stacking them?
Yes, I have to.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, you're right. You made the hardest. So you wanted to make the fuse holder equally as difficult as the amp rack in the back. Is that what's going on here?
I don't know what you make.
That's what you're doing, right? You're like, okay, so he came out with a really difficult amp rack, so I'm gonna make a really difficult fuse holder.
I didn't say that.
Yep, I understand. I totally get it.
All right, so
Let's see this crazy.
this one.
Slow it down, man.
All right.
All right, okay, all right.
So
I'm with you. Hole for the wire there.
Right here.
Yep.
This one gonna go. It's gonna go right here.
Factory bolt.
right there,
Okay.
and we can still see the bottom fuse in case like
something bad happens.
Something bad happens and everything. And the other one wire is coming over here. Done.
Okay.
So that's it.
Look at all this goo, man. Look at that.
I don't know.
That's the anti-corrosion
I
crap.
know, but still.
That's a lot. They went crazy on
That's
that one.
enough for the whole car.
That is enough for like a lot of cars. Sounds like an auto body shop or a dentist. Greens from Guadalajara. Woo, it's my favorite place.
Guadalajara. I love that Guadalajara.
I just like the name. Not gonna lie, I love. That's one of the things. Nice
Jalisco.
fuse rack. Thanks for the tip. Awesome job, Fernando. Red for positive. Red goo for positive. Yeah, it's a lot though. Like, just dial it back just a bit. You know.
Nah. Just go for it, man. Use the whole bucket or the whole thing.
Just buy the tube like toothpaste. Oh, now you want to try to fit it in with the actual fuses attached?
Well, yeah.
And
it's gonna
hope.
be like that. You see? Perfect. Look
Greens from Brooklyn.
beautiful.
Yeah, no, that looks great. Looks great. Could you hurry up?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I wonder if you should make that bottom one a C. Instead of making this that a hole, instead of making this a hole here, let's go all the way with it as a C.
Okay.
That way, if we need to remove this whole bracket, we can just do it without it. You understand what I'm saying?
I like it.
Yeah, so just make that a C. And you just want to grind some more.
No, I don't want
Yeah, because that way we can just, because those fuses pop off, so we can pull the whole bracket out if we need to. Perfect. Great idea.
There you go. See?
Uh-huh. Teamwork. Go team go. Woo. Sorry about that. All right, guys. Well, hey, it's been fun, and we're gonna get back to it. I'm gonna start setting up for the DSP tune and whatnot. We got our table we got to dig out. Oh yeah, one last piece that we made. Hold on. I forgot. I did this like 20 minutes ago, and I forgot I did it. So we have our cool 5-star logo here. This guy is going to mount when this goes up, this area right here. So this is gonna sit right here. So it'll be right there on the little piece of plastic. So that was the last little piece we had to do. All right, I'm gonna set this someplace where I won't lose it on my laptop, and we're gonna get back to work. Start grinding. Bye. You gotta stop moving. I said you gotta stop moving.
I'm moving.
I know, I can tell that.
How can I stop moving? I'm working.
I don't know. Aloha.
Somebody has to work in there.
Wow. Dude. Yeah. Hey, it's Morel. What's going on, Morel? Can't wait to see you guys next week. Ooh, I hope they have those. I hope
The amplifiers?
I hope they have the amplifiers. I hope they have the new
speakers.
45th. I hope they have the speakers. I hope they have a little 4-inch.
Wow.
That's what I want
They
to see.
have everything.
Yeah, well, you know what they say about hope. Gotta have it. Gotta have hope. Gotta be positive hope. So what are we working on? We're working on. This is a CC. Did we decide this was a CC?
That's
Volkswagen CC.
Mm-hmm.
So
Senior.
we haven't been on in like 2 days.
That's weird, man.
So I know it's like we were talking about last night. Fernando was like, no, we were on. I was like, no, we haven't. We have been really busy. German car extravaganza, it seems like.
Yeah.
So we've just been super swamped, trying to get all the work done before we leave next week for our Knowledge Fest Audio Control sponsored event.
Yep, that's right.
So super cool there. I will tell you this, for all you guys that are interested in winning that LC 1.800,
Mexico.
this is the last time to do it. So Monday we're done. So like this coming up Monday, if you haven't commented, so all you got to do is watch it and comment. That's it. So Monday's the last day because these guys got to go through and read all the comments and do their things and get all that set up so we can give our top picks to Chris and have him pick. So if you want to win that, you still got time. You got this weekend. Sit down, watch it, tell us what you thought, and boom, you could win an LC 1.800 autographed by the guys from Audio Control.
That's right.
Super cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a free amp. All you got to do is watch a video and comment. I mean, how cool is that?
That's right. What's up,
I
guys?
get to pay for the shipping, so yippee. Yay, me, whoopee. But yeah, so it's just been really hectic the last couple days. Guys on Face Tester, red, green. Is red, green would be negative, positive. Green is positive, red is negative. There again, doesn't matter. Just matters that you know which way they're going. So everything goes red, green. Everything's in polarity with themselves, you're golden. If something goes green, red, and something else goes red, green, if you don't want it that way, then you need to change it. So for example, sometimes you'll put in a set of components and they'll go red, green, and then the mid bass will go green, red. And the reason why the manufacturer did that is because on their crossover that they used, it's 12 dB crossover, and they were having some kind of phasing issue at the crossover point. And so if you flip one of the speakers, typically the tweeter, 180 degrees out of polarity with the other speaker, it fixes that dip you would get. So it's not a bad thing, it's just a thing. Now, the fact that you know that is what makes the difference. So
Massachusetts.
There again, knowing is knowing. Knowing is half the battle. Also, Fernando's back flexing like a champ. Are you flexing like a champ, or are you wearing? What's he say?
Wow, I like.
Kenwood 7-inch would fit. All right. 2010 Lancer 6.5 front and rear components front. Do you think the 7-inch would fit? Would fit, or yeah, no, I think it would fit. I think because the 7-inch comes So the 7-inch comes with a 6.5 to 7-inch spacer. It's about 3/8 of an inch, not a full half. It's 3/8 of an inch thick. So as long as you have a little bit of depth coming out of the door, which I think you do in that car, you should be okay. Should be. Any good budget RTAs? Check eBay for an old PAA or PPA3. PAA3 Personal Audio Assistant 3. That's usually how. That's about it. I mean, as far as budget ones go, right now, yeah. I know. I said that word. Right now.
No, we haven't installed Morels and the Jetta personally, but we installed Morels and
everything else. Oh, yeah. No, we didn't.
No, we installed other ones.
No.
But yeah, I mean, they fit. No problem.
Yeah. Also, hey guys, happy Friday.
Happy
really?
Friday, man.
Afternoon, Dean and Fernando from Massachusetts.
Yep.
Okay. If it just goes red. If it just goes red, it's not reading it properly.
Right.
Or the track you're playing doesn't do red, green. So there are some tracks. So for example, like a lot of the times the polarity pop on the phone that puts out the pop.
So
pop.
what you have to
it doesn't oscillate.
Is check the tweeter.
Yeah.
And then check the mid range.
Yeah.
Just to see if it flips.
If both speakers just go red, that means the track that you had doesn't have the polarity flip on one. The track that we have on DNF Tool Drawer that you can download has the polarity flip for the last one. So there's 4 and then it cycles over. So it'll go positive, negative. Yippee.
Okay, so Crutchfield says hell no.
Well, Crutchfield says no to a lot of things that aren't true. Frostbite boxes in the house. Speaking of that, I just talked to our guy this morning, Butch. Why did I call him Butch? Bruce. I know, I totally screwed up. I suck at names. We got 2 new Frostbite boxes that just came in that we ordered.
Sorry, guys.
And we haven't opened them yet. And I know, it sucks. But I believe this big one is the Ram box.
Yeah.
And I think that is the other F-150 box we got in.
Yeah.
So totally excited to get those in. Paul's got to get them over there so we can get them on display and sell them. But yep, they came in.
That's
So
what
if
we
any of you are interested, like in getting a Frostbite box and wondering how it comes
Something like
shipped,
that.
pretty like this, make sure you ask for the 5-star edition.
Right
We'll
here.
go ahead and put 5-star in it for you. This is how they come shipped. So, and there's tons of crap inside of it, so they get there all in one piece.
Good protection, man.
Oh yeah, it's like a sleeve. It prevents it from making other little boxes. That was bad. Download the Polarity Pop from DNF Tool Drive. There you go. Download. Okay, so there again. I thought that one flipped. Man, I did that so many. I don't know. But either way, if all the speakers just go one solid polarity, like it all goes red, 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 then it's fine. I don't know.
Hey guys, have you guys installed the PAC BS41 intelligent 4-camera switcher? I'm thinking about installing one on my lifted truck so I can add cameras on it. Well, I mean, we installed...
Yeah, the BS41.
Yeah, no problem.
That's pretty cool.
Did we have to review it?
I don't think we've reviewed it.
I think we talk about it.
We talk about it a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. We talk about it a lot. Ugh. Okay. What do we got here? Yep, that's that. Omni-Ink. Tattoos for you.
Yeah, just call them. I'm sure they make boxes for Tundras too.
I don't know if they do yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I just saw they posted a picture before we went online that looks like they're making a plug for a RAM box.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be nice.
But just call them, go to the website, check it out, frostbite.com. Oh, do you have a sticker?
I have a sticker.
Ooh.
I don't think it does it. Yeah, Frostbite box. All right, hold on. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It's right there. So it is frostbitebox.com. And ask for a pretty sticker. It's pretty. What's up? What's up with you? What's up? Kenwood, DMX 906. Do you use the crossover in the deck or the amp? Well, it depends. Depends what you're trying to do. If it's yours, then I would use the crossover in the deck. You're going to get a little bit more precision out of it, and it's a better crossover as far as you have 6, 12, 18, or 24 dB crossover slopes. Mm-hmm. So you have a little bit more options there as far as how you want to run your crossover. On the amplifier, you get to do whatever it's... could be, maybe, I don't know. So unless you have a CCA1 where you can go, I'm going to play a test tone, and it's going to match up, and then you get to play the ping pong between getting it just the way you want it, I'd use the one in the deck, because it'll be more precise.
Yeah.
But then again, if you want to go and buy Steve's cool tool, totally recommend it. For those of you that don't know what that is, it is this guy right here. Is it this? It's this one. Yeah. So you play a track, and you hit read, and then it'll read the frequency, and then it'll tell you to just keep going up and down until you get it right in the middle, which I will tell you is a bit difficult sometimes because those gain pots, or the crossover gain pots on the amps, don't always want to cooperate. But this will allow you to set that up. So buy one of those or use the radio.
All right. Let's see.
Hello from Chicago. It's cold there. It's very cold there. Did you see it's going to be kind of cold next week?
It is?
Yeah. I think the weather's going to be about like this.
Here or there?
There. Not here, I care less. Yeah.
No.
So remember, we're going to be in California, Long Beach next week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We get here really bad on Monday. Mm-hmm. If you're in Long Beach and you want to hook up with us, we're going to... Thursday be the only time we're going to have available. And that's fading fast, as it turns out. But we will be at the Peterson Museum in LA. So we're going to be hanging out at the Peterson Museum from like 10 till 2. So if you're in LA, that's where we'll be. Otherwise, we'll be in Long Beach. What's the name of the hotel? Westin? No.
The Westin.
The Westin? It's Westin. We'll be at the Westin there. And we'll be available.
Confirmed that we are going to be.
Yeah, we're going to be, but we're going to be sporadically in and out there. So obviously nighttime would probably be easier to get a hold of us. We're going to be in and out of that area. If you in Long Beach area and you're like, I'm going to go to the Westin, I want to meet you guys, if you're not friends with us on Facebook is the easiest way to get a hold of me directly. If you DM me on Facebook, you know, me or Fernando, that's the easiest way to get a hold of me on the go like that, because that does report up here on my screen and I see it. You're like, hey, I'm at the Westin. Where are you guys at? If we're doing something, we'll tell you how long we're going to be, and then we'll come out. We'll give you a lanyard. I know after 8 we won't be doing anything. I didn't think we were going to be doing anything till then, but we just found out we have like a class from 6 to 8, and then we have a meeting at like 4. So sucks. But if you're going to make the trip, we'll make time for you, and we'll get out there and we'll say hi. We'll give you a lanyard and whatnot. Right. Friday, Saturday, Sunday though, we will be booked the whole time, so we won't be able to do anything on those days. Yeah. So. Yeah, more classes, meetings, and whatnot. So, but Thursday, you know, or, hey, the Peterson. Honestly, that's the best place to go. We're going to head over to the Peterson. We're going to look at a bunch of cars, and we're going to dip out of the Peterson. We're going to go over to La Brea Tar Pits real quick, because it's just up the street. I'm going to take them by the lamp poles at the LA Museum, so you can see the cool lamp poles. We'll take a few beauty shots of Fernando doing the whole little singing in the rain thing. It'll be good fun for everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
What thickness ABS should I use for amp racks installed in my G250 under seat storage compartment? So when we use ABS, typically we're going to use a 1/4 inch for an amp mount because it's nice and rigid and thin. 1/8 inch at a bare minimum if it isn't like a big piece that doesn't need to move a lot. Like it's not going to be suspended, you know, there's no big flat panels. If it's going to be mounting flat to the floor, 1/8 is okay too. But we typically run 1/4 inch.
Right, that's right.
Because it's super structural and it doesn't move.
If you want to know more about the DSP, we have few live shows actually on YouTube.
So this Saturday,
we're
gonna have the 810, and we're gonna have that live. So we're gonna talk about DS. We're gonna talk about the audio control DM810 this Saturday. We've already done a review on it. We've already talked on the live show, but because audio control is the show sponsor for this week, because of the whole Knowledge Fest thing, we're gonna hook up the 810. We're gonna put the Bluetooth dongle in it. We're going to show you basic setup on it, how you get through the basic product and setup, and all that other fun stuff.
We can hook up the DMRTA.
What do we need it for though?
Just to show.
Okay.
Just to show what.
Yeah, why not? What it displays. So so make sure to check out this Saturday's YouTube show, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Johnny.
We're just gonna pull out all the audio control stuff, start putting stuff in, playing with DSP. Apparently, we're gonna play with the DMRTA. We're gonna play with the new phone control app.
That's right.
A lot of fun there. So hopefully we'll get done on time so we can get. So if we start a little bit late on Saturday, it's because we ran late just getting our cars done. But yeah, we're gonna go full screen, have all the what?
Yeah.
Have all that for everyone to play with and see. So if you got questions, that'd be a good time to do it. Do you have sound deadening the entire inside, outside of the toe? It depends. Yeah. No, not always. We have a couple different layers or levels that we do. We do the basic. The basic is just like a standard sheet, and what we concentrate the area on is just like around this area here, and then directly behind the speaker. That's the basic. So it's like we take a sheet, cut it in half. We do behind the speaker, do this. Now, as far as when you get the full, on the full, we concentrate on this area here, getting all this, okay? And then we do as much of this in between. So a door is 3 layers. You have the outside, the door panel, and the inside. So concentrate on here, and that is all Roadkill Stealth on both sides there. And then we take the Ultimate, which has the foam padding, and we do it on the inside of the door panel. So anywhere where there's like this, where this is going to overlap, you have 3 different surfaces here. This is going to rattle. Around here is going to rattle.
Right
this
here.
Pocket, this seam right here is going to rattle. So we can't do this, obviously, but we're going to do the back side of it. So yeah, that's the full treatment, or what we call the baked potato. Yay.
What's
up,
getting
guys?
in the VW?
So this is getting a backup camera. So this is getting this new guy here. We should do a new review on this one. So this is what we used to call Dean's favorite camera, or our favorite camera. It has changed. It's still the same thing, but now it's got dynamic lines in it that turn through some centripetal force. So as you start to back up and you just turn a little bit, the camera, the lines move. Yay. We're going to do this guy here, which is the top one, black apparently. And then we're also doing this guy, the DDX 9906 XR, top of the line. Kenwood radio, and of course, because it's a Volkswagen, iData. So if you got a Volkswagen and you have an iData compatible radio, this is the method you want to use so you can retain the top gauge cluster screen and all your other functionality that is in the factory radio that needs to go over into the dash. We're going to use this guy here. Use the tool that's right for the job. This is the tool that's right for the job. And then, of course, for the simple dash kit, we got the Metra 1017. We have a USB, what we call the nickel, because this does not have a USB anywhere in it, so we'll probably either cutting a hole or pulling out a cigarette lighter and putting it in the dash. So
anything new from Rockford coming out this year?
So from Rockford, so I didn't get to watch Derek and Vega's whole show the other night where Eric Russell was on there. But he's going to be here actually in the install bay for a live show February
8th?
No. Maybe 15th.
15th. There you go.
So he'll be here on the 15th. He'll be bringing some of the new Prime amplifiers, so we get to touchy-feely the Prime amplifiers and see what's going on. He's also bringing, so they have the whole new Prime amplifier line, and then if you're into the motorsport side of things, ATVs, that kind of stuff, they have a bunch of new ATV stuff that's new, and I think they have a couple motorcycle things that's new. But as far as like other 12-volt stuff, sadly, no. A lot of these manufacturers are really starting to change gears and go towards the easy money, which is the ATVs and motorcycle stuff, because it's an untapped market, and they're
trending.
Yeah, it's popular right now, and they like to throw money at it, and because everyone has an ATV in their garage. Apparently, that's what I'm told. I'm told everyone has an ATV in their garage.
So if I go home, I'm gonna have one right now.
Apparently, I have two.
Oh, you have to?
Apparently, I have a 2-car garage. I must have 2 of those.
Okay. Anyway, what will be the next step up for the DSR-1 as far as DSP? Running Kenwood head unit, components in the front, and 6x9 in the rears, and 2 valves.
Johnny, I don't have one in mind, right? That'd make for a good time. Haley trying to drive me around in one of those. So if we're stepping up from the DSR-1, and we have a Kenwood radio, looking at my shelf over here, trying to think of what would be cool. And so, all right, here we go. Step up. The Tweak 88 would definitely be a step up. That's got 8 in, 8 out, just like a DSR-1. And it's obviously, it's a little bit more money. This guy here, the DSP Mini from Helix, this will give you front, rear, sub, and center, or active front, rear, and sub. Right? Yeah, it's 6 channels out. No, is that right?
No, it's 4.
No, 6 channels out.
Yes.
So this is a little bit less. This is only 6 channel out, but I do front, rear, sub, center. So if you want to add a center channel and have like an actual upmix center channel, that guy. And then this guy right here, this will take you into full crazy DSP at a reasonable amount of money. So this has 12 outputs, 6 inputs. This will get you a lot of fun. And then what's not here, which should be here soon, is the Audison makes the Nove, which is very similar to, it's 6 in, 8 out, as well as they have the Hertz version of it, but the Nove would be also. Now, the cool thing about the Nove is it is also, like the DSR-1, it is AR, so it works with iData AR. And then you also have the audio control DM608,
that will be,
which would be
the sponsor of the show.
Which would be the sponsor of the show. Which this is the 810, but the 608 is also 8 outputs. So any one of those DSPs would get you something better than a DSR-1. And really what you'd be improving on is sound quality. It's a different sound quality. Now, out of those DSPs, the audio control is going to be a graphic EQ, which there again, you might not even realize your DSR-1 has a parametric EQ, which means you can go up, down, move the frequency left, right, and then adjust the Q, which is the width. The audio control has graphic. The Alpine has a parametric. Both 31 bands. The Tweak has, I think, 10 bands. And honestly, I don't know what the Helix has. Do you know what the Helix has?
Has 30.
Is it 30? Is it 31?
Yes,
yeah. Okay. I don't know. I haven't gotten really deep into that one yet. That sounded bad. What do you got?
All right. About the audio control SA3035. Got it for a really good price. I just have to learn how to use it. Yeah, you have it right there. You have one.
What do I have?
Audio control RTA. The first.
Oh yeah, the big one.
There. So we have one right there.
Yeah, right there. Woo, yay! It's got lights. It's not real hard to use. It's pretty simple. There again. We're gonna have the DMRTA on the show this weekend. We'll talk about that. The 3035 is basically the antique version. Don't get me wrong, they all work. Of what the DMRTA is, this natural evolution of it. But 31 bands, we'll walk through the process of what is similar between that and what is not, because there are a lot of carryover features that that older RTA has. Don't get me wrong, I love mine. I would not get rid of it. I just bought it. Well, actually, it was a gift from Audio Control. But it was refurbished. They had it sitting on the shelf. They're like, hey, thank you. Because I wanted to buy one, and they stopped making them. So it's kind of a bummer.
I keep ordering 6.5 speakers.
But I love it. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, but I keep sending them back because they are any
bigger
than the current 5 1/4.
So two things. One, look for a 6 3/4. Like Rockford makes a whole line of 6 3/4 inch speakers, or go all the way up to the Kenwood Exelon 7-inch, and that will solve your problem because they will be huge.
I believe you have.
Well, you probably keep so a 5 1/4 is a 13 millimeter speaker. So anything that has a 13 in the model number, it's typically a 5 1/4, and a 6.5 is a 16 or 17 millimeter speaker. So it's usually either a 16 something, or like 1.6 something, or 1.7 something. So if you want a big speaker, check out the Rockfords, man. Those are huge, and they're like, you can get the 6 3/4 inch versions of them, and they're massive.
Right.
And then you got to go, how do I fit that in anything? When tuning a subwoofer, specifically using an O-scope, you turn it with the bass knob all the way up, correct? What do you set the subwoofer level with the source unit? Well, okay, so source unit, subwoofer level. Like, so for example, on a Pioneer head unit, if you're using a phone, which 90% of us are, and you turn the radio up to where it clips at 38, you can usually go up, or 40, depending on the phone. Let's say 38 for this conversation. And then you go into the subwoofer level control, and you turn it up to, that is 0 clip out of the radio on that, meaning so you're playing 40 hertz 0 dB. That's right where that radio pretty much taps out. Now your subwoofer bass knob, yes, have it turned all the way up, and then set it for either -5, -10 dBs of overlap, and you're fine, and that'll be it. Because you want everything. If you're trying to max everything out, that would be your maxed amount of output. And that would be worst case scenario. Now, keep in mind, just because you're setting it for 5 or 10, you don't always have to play it like that, because you're going to play some new music that's recorded really well and with a lot of loudness. And because some of this stuff has bass, just loudness, subwoofer loudness in it that is boosted big time. And you could blow speakers.
Saludos, Argentina. Let's see.
How do I use an LC7i with my 19 Accord non-premium system with 2 components as the replacement? All right, so 2019 Honda Accord non-premium system. You have a front and rear output out of the head unit. What you're going to want to do is go over to metroonline.com, first things first, and pick up the T-harness for that car.
For the Honda, yeah.
Okay, you're going to want to get that. If you don't get it, you're going to have to cut that plug, and that's going to suck. It's kind of dumb. The plug's only like $30, $35. Go pick up that harness from Metro. It's under the access line for their DSP. Don't care. We have a video showing you how to wire it up somewhere. Anyways, get that harness. That radio has front and rear outputs. Drop down the glove box. Above the glove box, right up there is a silver box. It's about 3 by 2 by 1 inch thick, plug facing towards the air conditioner, the motor. That's the ANC. Unplug it. That stands for automatic noise cancellation. That's the goofy little microphone in the center of the ceiling in the very back. There's also one above in the little light fixture where your sunglasses go. Unplug that. Once you've done that, hook up the LC7i front and rear. So that's going to be inputs 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's it. That's all you got to do. And you're done.
Yeah.
Internally, the LC7i by default feeds the subwoofer input, which is 5 and 6, off of 3 and 4. So you don't have to plug anything into 5. You don't have to plug anything into 5 and 6. It'll automatically just do it internally. You're going to need the AccuBase, so start working with that. And that's it. That's really all you have to do. That one's kind of easy.
All right. So do you know when
and
the
I hate
RTA,
saying that because I understand it's difficult, but yes.
Do you know when the RTA Pro is coming out?
I believe. Okay. The RTA Pro, DMRTA Pro, is the exact same thing as a DMRTA. The only difference is they got a Pelican case-like thing. They also have foam. So when we were there, they had them. The problem was the distributor sent them the wrong piece of foam. Okay, so if you really got to have one, I think they're available. They got to be available now. But they might have ran out. So they had a bunch of pre-orders on them, and so they may have ran out. However, if you can always call them. I mean, if you want the case. The other thing, too, is I know they were shipping a couple of them out with the wrong piece of foam, and then they were just going to send the foam out later. But what would you recommend for an RTA for a beginner DMRTA? I mean, if the thing is like, okay, so let's talk about RTAs for a minute, okay? So you want something that can do musical as well as electrical. All right, so we'll grab this guy here. This is really cool. This is the NTI ML1. It's nice only because it powers up like super fast. So like I can press this, hold the button, and it powers up, and I can use it. One thing that's missing is the frequencies across the bottom. I don't understand why it does that. It might be a setting I haven't figured out yet. But that's that one. That one is about $500. Come inside here. Hang on a second. Sorry. Drawer doesn't like to stay open. I have to put a clip on it. Come inside here, you get the PPA3. They don't make this anymore, but you can find these on eBay typically for about $300 to $400. And then they have the PPA3X. This guy just keeps going through the roof. Like this guy's no shush. I'm not getting a 6. The 6 is like $1,500. Anyways, so this guy is close to $1,000 now, so that's ridiculous. And this thing takes forever to power up. Like if I powered up now, it still wouldn't be powered up by the end of the show. This is the DMRTA. So if you've got a laptop, you get this because this will do more than all of these will do. And it will grow with you. So as you learn to do more, it will do more for you. Now, keep in mind, I understand you have to plug this into a laptop, so there is more stuff that you have to set up because it's not like this. I can grab this real quick. I can go over to a car and I can test something, and then I can take it and I can put it back here. But I'm never going to tune a car with this because the display is this big. It kind of sucks. Now, this guy, which is the Audio Frog UMI1, is only good for doing audio RTA, not doing electrical measurement. Electrical measurement, unfortunately, is a lot of what we do here because we need to see what is coming out of that factory radio and are we grabbing the right wires. So there again, this will do that. These will do that. So
DMRTA.
there's 2 mics.
There's 2 mics.
Yep. The Pro Kit comes with that one.
10.
We just bought them both. That's the one you need. You just need the little silver one. You don't need to go crazy. This one does the job.
If you want to, you can.
Really?
I mean, why not? They make the other one too, so.
Yeah. So for under $1,000, you're gonna get this. I don't know what it is with the Pro Kit, but there again, you just need this to start out with because you can do electrical measurement right here. But yeah, pick up the mic. So, that's the Bluetooth dongle. This also comes in the Pro Kit. So the Bluetooth dongle will work if you for your iPad, stuff like this. The reason I'm not a big fan of that, and I just like the laptop, it's kind of slow. Like it doesn't go super fast. It has
a delay.
There's a delay, and that delay drives me crazy.
Okay, what kind of Stinger
Bobby?
sound deadening do you recommend?
Stinger sound deadening?
Yeah. Well, they have all 3. I mean, they make
the trifecta. The trifecta of doom is obviously pick up a fast ring, which is the foam thing goes around. Yeah. Pick up the stealth, which is the thin stuff with the black. The Stealth, as we said earlier, is going to go on, hold on, well, not
right
on
here.
my face. It's going to go on this part right here, on the middle part right here. And we get the Ultimate for putting, there again, you can use the Ultimate too if you want on either of it. But we like to use the Ultimate on door panels. We like to use the Ultimate on rear decks. It just has a piece of foam. Grab the two pieces we were looking at earlier. We always, so they're right here. Right here. There's like,
two pieces of
yeah,
foam.
there's a little piece right there.
Oh, we have plenty of foam.
No, there's a little just. Okay. So this is the Stealth. This just has the, hold on, keep that out. This just has a little piece of aluminum with the butyl on the inside. And then this is the Ultimate. It adds an 1/8 inch piece of foam, the metal, and then the butyl there. The reason why we go with the Stealth instead of the other stuff is because it's black. And if, you could possibly see something through a grill, you're not going to because it's black. Black is cool. What about the trunk lid? Is the Ultimate the best? No, honestly, for the trunk lid, we use Stealth. So if we're doing up here, so what you want to do when you're doing this, okay, everyone loves screwing this up. So take a pencil or a grease pencil or tape and mark this area off, okay, something that washes off, okay. And then when you're doing it, make sure you come in about 1/4 inch from here. Okay, I don't know why. I can't tell you how many cars we've seen where you can see the roadkill from this. It's so sad. And that's it. Stealth is the way to go because you're going to probably do multiple layers of Stealth on this because you'd be surprised how much sound deadening or dampening gets used on this area here because there's like all these little nooks and crannies and oh my gosh, you can use like 3 sheets on just that.
The other thing you can do.
Don't ruin that.
No, the other thing you can do is.
I need that box.
No, I know.
Okay.
Take the cover, the cover.
Oh, and trace it.
And trace it. You put it like this. Bring the cover, and just grab pen or whatever.
Look, it's us. Yeah. Well, that's how you trace.
You just grab like this, and now you cut it. So
yeah.
there you go.
I just do that on a CNC, right? Oh yeah, the DS1 turn like car fraud is no longer in the UI, but hard coded at 4 seconds. Turn out no amount of delay helps. My amp just makes noise when they start. If you have a Pioneer, they do that too. But no, that kind of sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. I installed LC7i with two 12-inch subs in my 2015 Lexus IS250 non-analog stereo. Do I get signal before or after stock amp? Well, that I honestly don't know because I don't write down everything we do. However, it's easy enough to check. You can do it with a digital multimeter set to AC. Now, if you have an LC7i, that's a high-level to low-level adapter, not a low-level to low-level adapter. So, with an LC7i, no matter what you do, you have to get it after the amplifier because it will not take a low-level signal and allow you to amplify it. It is going to make it even lower. If your radio has a variable voltage output, you could set your voltmeter to AC, play some pink noise in the radio or some form of a test track, go before the amplifier, see if it moves up and down with the volume knob. If it does, you have variable voltage, you may just have to solder an RCA onto it. However, if it doesn't, like most Lexuses don't,
Yeah, that's right.
they typically don't have variable voltage,
Yep.
You're going to be going after the amplifier. So moral to the story is, with the Lexus, you're probably just going to keep it simple and go after the amplifier, call it a day. But that would be how you would test.
Just call it a day.
Had a shop set up my system, but I'm concerned if I turn it up, it will blow. That's not a good concern. It's possible. It's totally possible. There again, there's always that as a concern. If the crossovers weren't set properly or the gains weren't set properly, anything is possible.
Well, I mean,
Hopefully the shop stands behind their work. The other thing too is you can educate yourself a little bit and figure things out. Tools like the DD1 are getting more affordable, or Lumi. Figure out how to do gain settings on your own. There again, you might not want to. I totally understand you paid somebody else to do it, so why do it yourself? But
go back to the shop.
Or go back to the shop and express your concerns and be like, I don't know, I feel kind of weird.
That's the reason you pay for it.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean,
Yeah.
you ask for a service, you pay for it.
But no, we totally understand though. I mean, not everyone is like hip to the game as far as customer service goes. Like, we get it. I mean, that's why we get 911 videos. I mean, go figure, right? Yeah, Bobby, less than a week to go. Can't wait.
Less
Rockford
than a week.
T, 400 times 4 AD or the 501 BR. Thanks for the thoughts. There you go. Good amps. Fernando, yep. Alpine deck remote into DSR1. The DSR1 out to 2 power series amplifiers. Okay. Trying to think. So if I think he said he tested it and they just pop anyways when they turn on.
Okay.
I think it was, if that was him. Because I think we talked about how to test an amp to see if it's the amp turn on popping or what it, or yeah. Sometimes we found that, you know, if you separate the DSR1 turn on from the amp, so maybe they turn on sooner or later, like hooking one up to accessory and hooking one up to remote turn on. Also, something like programming a TR7 Pro in there. I know it's a really expensive turn on, I get it, but sometimes changing that. But the easiest way to do that, of course, is to just turn the system on and tap the amps to power to see if they make noise when they turn on.
That's right.
Have you guys worked on a 2010 Acura TSX with ELS yet? Yeah. I don't remember what was special about it, though, but yeah, we've worked on that. Yes, just noise on turn on. So, there again, I don't know if you tried it or if we've talked about it, but if you disconnect the remote turn on and the DSR1 is already on, and then everything's already on, and then you tap it on, if there's a pop, then that means that, yeah, it's just going to pop every time you turn it on. Or if you turn it on before the DSR1 turns on, is there a pop? So you got to figure out where the pop is coming from, because there again, sometimes you can just change where it is, or add delay to something. And don't use the DSR1 to turn on the amplifiers. Like when we do the Chevy pickup trucks with the Amp Pro, we use the Amp Pro to turn on the DSR1, but we use the ignition to turn on the amplifiers, or vice versa. I don't remember which one it was. But that got rid of the pop for us. So, yeah. How did you guys bypass the ELS amps from the pre-outs or the outputs? If we did one, I don't know if we bypassed the amp or not.
I don't remember.
There again, I honestly don't remember. I don't remember. It's a tough one. I forgot to say earlier, but I have around 5K in the system, but I don't know how far I can push the speakers and how long I can keep the speakers and subs at high volumes. Any tips or suggestions? So anytime we set up a system with a customer, typically by the time they've walked out the door, we've played it for at least a good hour, and we jam on that thing. We play the hell out of it. We play all kinds of music, and we make sure that, you know, it's going to perform for you the way it's supposed to. That's what we do. I understand not every shop does that, obviously. But even with doing that, we don't know what that guy's going to be listening to. We don't know how that guy's going to do it. We don't know how much beer that guy drinks when he gets excited or any of that other fun stuff. So I always tell people is your ears are the best volume control. When it doesn't sound like it's supposed to, you turn it down. Your nose also works too, because most of the time speakers will start to smell really bad before they're going to blow. Then you turn it down. But yeah, you just listen. And the problem you run into is that, let's say if it's a system that has like full active and like the tweeters, the mid-range, everything is on their own channels, then it makes it even harder, because if they got one gain wrong, they got them all wrong. My DSM punch amps never had any turn on pop at all. Thanks for the help. You're awesome. You know, and honestly, very few amplifiers. The only amplifier that I will guarantee is going to have some form of turn on pop is last year's Pioneer amplifiers. This year's Pioneer, or the newer Pioneer amplifiers that they came out with, I think it was last year. No, those have been working great, but the old ones, pop. I have a DSR1. Mine pops every now and then. Not always running audio control amps. Yeah, it's just a sequencing thing. That's for sure. I got to go back to work. See you guys this weekend. Well, you know what? And we got to get back to work too, so we're going to dip now. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. It's been a great show. Yeah, that. All right, guys. We'll talk to you more tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow, Saturday, we'll try to do this. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. We're going to do audio control. We're going to have the DSP on the bench, DMRTN on the bench, new control app. We're going to have all kinds of fun, do a little bit of DSP talk. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Friday.
Peace.
I just gone with bye. But, all right, bye. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on with you?
Not much.
This is like a week long of Mondays. This is like day 2 of Monday. It's like Monday.
That's right.
Monday part A. You know, it's because you have like Monday and then you have like, oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, they sent that in the box.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, is that the Jeep kit? Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's the Jeep kit.
Toyota.
Okay.
Chevy Camaro. Honda Ridgeline.
I think those are just installed in that. That Jeep kit, I think. Go back to the Jeep kit. You see that? Yes, I think that's an actual kit that they're going to make. That'd be
pretty
cool.
cool because it's flush. So
yeah, it looks good. Cool. Yep. Cool.
But, what are we doing?
Right now, we're standing here waiting. Oh, I got stuff on my forehead. Oh, that's neat. We're waiting. So, one of the things to keep in mind when you're designing a system. So, for example, what we have behind us is a car, Lincoln, and he wants to add a subwoofer to it, which is, you know, pretty straightforward by today's standards. You just want to add a sub. But what makes this one unique is this. Right there, THX. Let me turn the ignition off, I think we're done testing that. Now, we just pulled this in, so we don't have it dressed up yet. So you just got stuff out of the trunk. What we first did was come into the back here and disconnect the 2 subwoofers and put our voltmeter on it and do a test tone. Love the speakers, Dean and Fernando. Thanks again. Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, so play test tone. There again, we only need to do a test tone for a quick. We had 24 volts at 50 hertz coming out of that factory amplifier. All right, 24 volts. So what does that mean for you and I in the audio world? Well, that means that an inexpensive little high level to low level adapter is not going to do the job. Sure, it'll last a little while, you know, if you're playing normal music, but if you're playing something like this guy's going to be doing, you know, he's got 2 12s ported in the back, he's got a 500 watt amp, so he's got a R501. Well, this guy here, those are great high level to low level adapter for a non-amplified system. For an amplified system, it's going to fall a little bit short. That's what this guy's made for. This guy will take up to 40 volts of input. That's what we need. So now we can safely install this into the car and not have to worry about setting it on fire. And you say, come on, man, what are you talking about? Well, let me move some of my garbage here. It's been a rough morning. This guy right here. All right. So this was in a Lexus, and this is a standard, what we'd call an SNI 35 high level to low level adapter. It's made for 35 watts of power. That's it. Not volts, power, you know, just watts. As you can see, this thing didn't fare so well. And notice the smooth part here. This is the plastic it was leaned up against in the car. And as, you know, heat, yeah. So if this was next to something that was flammable, luckily it wasn't, except for this piece of wire that melted into it here, well, bad things would happen. Now, it's easy enough to test for the voltage output. You need a digital multimeter. You put it on AC, and then you just play your test tone, have a buddy back there, and see what happens. You don't need to play it long, just enough for the voltmeter to register. You can use any smartphone tone generator app. We played 80 hertz first, and we played 50 hertz. The reason why you want to play more than just one frequency is because what if there's an EQ applied to the system, which this one for sure is going to have an EQ because it's a
in the house.
THX system. So there's an EQ in there. You also need to turn the volume up all the way because there might be active volume control. So you want to put it at its most extreme output possible and see what it does. There again, you don't have to play it for a long time, just enough to get a reading. You can set your voltmeter to min-max if you want, so you can just burp it and go, oh shoot, there it is. I have my reading. And now keep in mind, that's an extreme thing. But if you sit there and you smack somebody long enough, they're going to get angry. And the same thing's going to happen to your high level to low level as you're smacking it with power. Now, when we were just playing music, what we were seeing is anywhere between 6 to 10 volts. which I was like, 6 to 10 volts, man. We really need to take a closer look at this and see what it's doing. We immediately changed over to test tones, and boom. Dean, do you do your custom door panels? No, I do not. Not anymore. Thank you.
Do I need 6-channel amplifier to run 3-way component active?
Yes. You need a channel. Active means you have a channel for each speaker channel you're going to do. So, tweeter channel, mid-range channel, mid-bass channel, 6 channels.
Like what kind of amplifier?
Well, 6 channel. I mean, you have the LC 6100.
There you go.
You have the new Alpine that's not shipping yet. There's a bunch of 6 channels out there. Or you can get an 8 channel. Kicker also makes a 6 channel. In the Marine line, they have an 8 channel, which is really cool. So there's a bunch of them out there. And just because it's Marine doesn't mean anything other than it's got a green stripe and it's conformal coated, which is not a bad thing. But anyways, so that's the little learning tip for today. When you're going to do high level, make sure you pay attention to it. And since it's Audio Control Week, the week of audio control, as we're this week is Knowledge Fest.
What's for lunch, Fernando?
What are you eating?
That was corn. That's just like Mexican thing. We call it esquites. It's corn and it's awesome.
Gross. It's gross.
Awesome.
I've had it. It's nasty. I had a banana.
Yeah.
Banana.
Man.
Yeah. But, anyways, yeah. So see how this week is Audio Control Week. We had a car before this that we wanted to go live on, but we just ran out of time. How much for you to come out of retirement? It's not that. It's not anything I want to do anymore. It's not a retirement thing. How to
you hook up a DM810 with an epicenter?
All right, so DM810. Keep your sub crossover off. Go into the epicenter. Keep your also on the DM810. Keep any of the what's it called? Jeez, Accubase. Brain fart. Keep the Accubase off. Keep the crossover off, or put it at a high enough. If you have to have a sub crossover, actually on the DM810 you have to have a sub crossover on. Put it up at about 200 hertz. That ought to be fine. Come out of that into the epicenter, out of the epicenter into the amplifier. Use the crossover on the amplifier. That's how you're going to do it. The other thing, too, is you have to be real careful. Leave time alignment off on the subwoofer. You're not going to need it. Because I'm assuming at that point, we're really not trying to get the subwoofers up onto the dash so much as we just want big fat bass.
That's right.
So, happy
what's up,
Tuesday.
Victor?
Hey.
Happy Tuesday.
I got to call Bobby. I didn't call Bobby yet.
Oh, you don't.
No, I got.
Oh, man,
so the reason why there was no video today, every intention was to have a video today. The conclusion.
There you go. Look who it is.
Hey, I gotta get with you, Bobby. Every intention was to have the conclusion of the Raptor video today. I wanted to get it done, get it off my plate. But one of the classes that we're doing out at Knowledge Fest is Ada and I, and Ada can't make it. So I have to do the class solo. But he was the one designing the PowerPoint because it was his class. I'm just kind of going to be the co-host, and now I get to be the host. So last night I had to go through and clean up the PowerPoint and get it on point, as it were. So that, 2 more days, right? It's awesome.
That's it.
So it would be presentable. So I ended up working on that till about 1:30 last night, and that was that. So there was no video today. You guys excited about? Dude, I just want to get the hell out of here. I mean,
right now, let's go.
Another thing we found out today, too, is the reason why, last night we were supposed to do Facebook, and we couldn't because Facebook wasn't working. Apparently, it is a problem with Facebook and one of their servers doing strange stuff because I emailed the company that makes our webcaster, too, and they're like, yeah, we're aware of the problem. God forbid they post it anywhere on their website or anywhere so I don't have to be like, you don't want to do that. Hopefully, what's up, Iowa?
What's up?
Caucus.
When you set in your gains, yes, turn the subwoofer level or the bass knob all the way up.
Yeah, put it where you're gonna have it. There's no, if you're setting it for 5 or 10 dBs of overlap, and then you have your bass knob down, it's not gonna be 5 or 10. It's gonna be 5 or 10 plus whatever you do for your bass knob.
That's right.
I know. Sometimes these things just make sense.
All right, I have a Pioneer AVH X7500 VT. I ordered a DSR1. Which RCAs do I use for the input side?
So make sure you go into your first thing you want to do is make sure you go into your Pioneer and turn everything off.
Flat.
Set it to flat. Go into all the audio settings and turn all that garbage off.
Loudness.
All of it needs to be off.
off.
Use the front and rear outputs, and that's it. So just use front and rear. That way you can keep your fader control, and you're all good. Audio Frog versus Morel. So, there again, when we do verse, they're both excellent speakers. I'm a Morel fanboy, so I'm going to go with Morel.
Now,
that's
that. Made amazing.
Oh, I love the way they sound.
So it's just.
But I mean,
depends,
I don't like choosing. I understand the need to choose because it's like we all only have one car apparently, which kind of sucks. But dude, I don't think you're gonna do wrong either way.
No, not at all.
I like them both. I mean,
yeah.
But Jacksonville in the house.
How is the RDSP?
You guys got my amp back today. I have no idea. I haven't talked to Paul. How's the ARC DSP? We don't have the actual standalone ARC DSP. We just have the DSP amplifier, and we only played with it. We've only had the opportunity to play with it for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And so far, it's looking awfully sexy. Big ARC fan. I mean, I really like everything they do. It's a great company. We're not a dealer, of course, awesome. But that doesn't mean doesn't mean I can't love this stuff, and I do. I'm super excited to work with them and going forward and just having fun. Can you possibly post on the tool site what the ideal build would be as far as full equipment from head, front, rear, sub with amps? Well, there again, that's a tough.
It depends.
That's a tough one.
Your preference, like Dean's preference, totally
doesn't mean
my
your preference. Yeah. So when we're building a system for somebody, we listen to what they want and we build the system for them, not for us. It's not my system. I don't have to listen to it. I just have to put it in and make sure you're happy. Other than that, I just want to make sure I sell you the right products for the job. Prime example, yesterday I had a guy come in with a Jeep. Obviously, we do lots of Jeeps, and we get to work on this Jeep when we come back from Knowledge Fest on Monday. So we're going to get off the plane at 6 in the morning, go home, get a couple hours of sleep, come here, and then work on a Jeep that we have to get done right away because we have a full schedule the rest of the week. But anyways...
that's going to be murder.
Talking with him and finding out what he likes. A lot of the times we do a lot of the Rockford T2 stuff in the Jeeps because it's just loud and just like in your face crazy. And he was like, I like that, but I also want something musical. So he's going to go full cal access. And it's going to sound wonderful because he listened, he's like, this is it. This is what I want. And I was like, yeah. And we're like, cool. So fun there. Do you use RAW when using Audio Frog? No. I don't. We have all the stuff to use REW. We have the mic kit and all that stuff. But we're more into the DMRTA camp. Mm-hmm. So we have that. It's easier for us to set up. But we have all the stuff to do it. We just, for us, it's easier to do the DMRTA and use that. But no, he makes that kit so that it's a $200 kit. You can tune his speakers. You can tune anyone's speakers. It really doesn't matter. It's just so that you can so you can do better than just putting them in and going.
You can do better, man.
It sounds good. Yeah.
If you play the speakers at the reasonable volume, how long will the Rockford Fosgate Power T2 component last?
Forever.
It's gonna last forever. Yeah.
Forever. I mean,
if you take care of your speakers and everything.
I mean, I have my home speakers on Morel, and I've had them for 25 years, and they get played every single day. There is not a day, unless we're not at the house, that they are not on for some amount of time. If you take care of stuff, it just lasts. It's just that. Now, the only difference between that and that would be that in a car, if it's in a door, obviously moisture and stuff like that can affect the driver, but that is really it. That's what causes those things to... over years and years and years, is that, elements. Yep. And a car has elements. Just like, when you look at your tires, you look at your rims, you look at your brakes, you look at everything. Anything that's exposed to elements is eventually going to wear out for no fault of their own. It just kind of happens. Yes. Will 2-ohm speakers mess up speaker outputs from a radio? It can. Yes. It's very possible that it can. JBL and Infinity, when they first came out with their 2-ohm speakers, they have since gone back and changed that. They're not 2-ohm anymore. They are a little bit higher, closer to, let's say, 3-ohm, because the decks will handle that. But you have to be real careful with what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Sell me Audio Frog RTA cheap. You keep the disc. No, man. It's just a mic. No.
El Fernandez, after the DSP, like we said before, epicenter, head unit, DSP, and epicenter. When you guys gonna get the 9-inch Pioneer radios? Did we have it already? Oh, they're in order.
The which one?
The
10 ones?
9, yeah, no,
Oh,
the
no.
Pioneers.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to see that stuff before March or April.
Mm-hmm.
That was just that stuff's like that. Yeah, I don't think I know we're not going to see the Kenwoods between March or April. I'm pretty sure the Pioneer is that way too. April 1st is their new year, so a lot of that stuff like that drags its way out until then.
You guys will definitely know when we have it. All my music I play is through the iPad. Looking for a head unit. What head unit will be?
So all
anyone.
iPod music.
Yeah.
Find something with CarPlay and rock on.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you know,
CarPlay or Android Auto.
I'm a big fan of the XR stuff, Exelon from Kenwood. I have the 996. I love it. I think that's being replaced this year, probably about 997. But if you can get a good deal on 996 or 9906, pick one of those up.
Jason says, sell me the audio frog RTX.
I know, yeah, I said that. I said no. What do you have for a home stereo? So, my stereo at the moment is comprised of 3 identical Morel speakers across the front that have a 6-inch mid-range tweeter and an 8-inch mid-bass in them. At the time when I bought them 25 years ago, they didn't make a center channel, so I just bought 3 front speakers, and one is turned sideways in the center of my entertainment center. To power and then I have 2 Orion Cobalt, like Bobby, 12-inch subwoofers and band passes in the corner of my living room. The front left and right and the sub left and right are powered off of Onkyo M504 amplifiers with the cool VU meters that are, bitching. And then to power the center and the rear is an Adcom. I want to say it's like a 2535. It's a 3-channel amplifier they made.
Yeah.
That was the closest in power to the what came out of the Onkyos. And then right now, which I dearly hate it with a passion, can't stand it, I have a Pioneer receiver that I absolutely loathe, like drives me up the wall, can't wait to just kick it to the curb and get rid of it. And that's pretty much it for that. Yeah, I also have a Laserdisc player. I have a 300-disc changer that houses all my CDs. There's a DVD player there somewhere, but most of the time it's just Apple TV and cable.
All right.
Bobbies are 10s. You got small nuts.
Alpine ILX W650. Can I play music from you or phone through the USB cord? Yes.
Well, yeah, through
Apple
either
CarPlay.
Android. Yeah, it's through either CarPlay or Android Auto.
Yeah.
That's how that works. Yep.
All right.
Prime components versus Kicker CS. Oh, Kicker CS, hands down. That's not a tough one. That's not Apple's. Those primes don't stand a chance. That's my personal opinion, by the way. Anytime you have something coming out of my mouth, it's my personal opinion. So, all you prime lovers out there, it's okay.
Right,
it's
exactly.
just me.
2016 Nambo 7-inch factory screen. What to add a subwoofer?
I wasn't listening. I was reading the next question.
Right. It's a 2016 Nambos, but I don't know what car.
Oh, okay. Why not audio control home tuner? Because at the time, we weren't an audio control dealer, and I didn't know enough about the audio control stuff. So, and it's really expensive, and I don't know if I would benefit from it. So for me, I just need something that has, I don't need something with multi-zone and all that garbage. So when I start looking, I'm definitely going to look into, obviously, audio control and a couple other brands like Sajecki and Bill, the guys that do our Kenwood and Rockford. They also sell a bunch of home audio stuff. So I'm going to get with them and figure out what I need. I don't, because there again, I don't need anything with power. Now, as far as audio control does, is they have the little micro amplifier.
Yeah, you told me that.
I want one of those desperately, because what I want to do is I want to build enclosure. So there again, what I want to do and what will actually happen, as you guys have found out over the years, doesn't always happen, but my dream is to have one of those that I can set on the workbench here, and then we have cabinets that are stackable, so like a mid-bass cabinet that can fit to a 6.5, 8-inch, or a 6x9 with interchangeable front panels, and then like a mid-range and a tweeter that you kind of build it like a snowman, and that we can power those. So like when we want to hear a new set of speakers, we can just quickly throw them into these enclosures and play them off of that amplifier. That's my dream. The problem is, of course, finding someone to build me those enclosures because I just don't have the time to do it. And who I have to do it, typically, he takes too freaking long. So, yeah. That's my dream. And with that, like all dreams, they have to come to an end. As much as we'd love to stay and answer your questions, we're going to have to wait until tomorrow. We got to get back to work on this car. It's been a long day. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And that's it. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. The week is almost... Knowledge Fest, almost here. So much fun. See you guys.
Sponsor of the show, Audio Control.
There you go. I wouldn't dream of it.
Oh, now we're live now?
We're live now.
You gotta tell me, man. All these things.
The big yellow phone in my hand aimed towards you doesn't hey, look at me.
No.
Well, I wish I could have some words of like, hey, this is what you do in this vehicle, but I don't. This is just an old school Toyota that's just getting 4 new speakers put in it. We got some of the new Kicker Gold.
Gold tweeter.
Gold tweeter, was this the CS? CS?
This is the CS.
Yeah.
New CS.
So just a quick 4 speakers like we used to do back in the day. And sadly enough, this is a truck like back in the day. I worked on a lot of these. What year is this? This is a 2000. Yes, this is from time long ago. Built a set of custom door panels for this at one point. It was like 2 5.25s and 2 4s and some 6s here in the kick. Single cab. It was a lot of fun. We were just talking about it. But yeah, so all we're doing today is on this. Done a lot so far. Paul's getting every waking moment out of us. What's up, Alabama?
That's
What's up?
Brian is in Alabama.
What's that?
Brian is in
Well, that's because it was Brian.
Oh, I know.
Good guess. Good guess.
I remember Brian.
The good old days. I know, and they need to stay in the good old days. Hey, from San Diego, what's going on? Is there a harness to retain backup camera in a 2014 Sonata? If there is, you'd want to check on metraonline.com. There'd be the place to check there. They're kind of in the forefront of making harnesses and stuff like that to retain backup cameras. So if there's going to be one, Metra's going to have it. And I think they do, because I know yesterday I was looking through one of the PowerPoints I was having to put together for Knowledge Fest. I needed a picture of the DSP harness. And of course, anytime you go on a website like that, is that a back seat? That is a back seat. It's little jump seats in the back. Yeah, they're perfect size for Fernando. And that's why he's in there.
Thank you.
But I was going through the 2020 catalog, and they had a bunch of new camera retention harnesses in there. So definitely check over there, see what they got. Putting some 15 subs in the truck. I know, right?
Yeah, you could put 15.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, you couldn't.
Why not?
It's tough. Well, if they don't mind riding the wheel, you could. I mean...
No, you build a box.
Typically, we do like 4 in a wall.
12s?
Like 4 12s, ported, slot down the center, wall behind. Or we do 4 10s down firing. That would be popular in these. And then of course you got to pull the seats out because these doors don't work. This is before. I know some of you guys don't understand. There used to be trucks this didn't open. This was solid. And then Ford decided that they're going to make Ford and Dodge made a 3-door. I think they made a 3-door too, or this door opened but the door over there didn't. Dodge.
Evolution, man. You got now. Okay.
Yeah. Back in 2000. Oh, so long ago, right?
Same Chevy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, no, the Sierra did the same thing. They had that. Remember that seat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
What is the other car?
Is it smart to upgrade all 6 stock speakers if 4 are in the rear? 4JL C2 6.5, 2 C2 6.9. 4 in the rear. I mean, personally, I'm a big fan of replacing what's bad, but I mean, if we're just talking about like a rear set of, like I know a lot of Toyotas and some of the new Hondas, they put components in the rear just to increase their speaker count because it doesn't cost them anything to do. You know, because then they could say it has 27 speakers in it. Well, yeah, but how many of them are not necessary? So no, if there's like a place in the rear where you can just put a regular coaxial speaker, yeah, just do that.
I believe so. Will Rockford Fosgate Prime 1200.1 work with a 10-inch W7?
Yeah.
Even through the W7 is a 3-ohm subwoofer.
Ooh.
I believe so.
is it a dual 3 ohms? We're talking 1.5 ohm? Because the amp does 1 ohm, right? I think
That
that
amplifier does.
Yeah, if it's 1 ohm, that'll still be like 1,000 watts. That'll still be plenty of power for that. More info on LGDs you put on your install last build. Would you need them for a 2018 Tundra non-JBL? Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt. So you'd want the blue ones. So they basically make 3 right now. They make a blue. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, if you saw the video yesterday, you saw one of these guys in there. This is an LGD. This is a Zobel network that is designed, Zobel resistive network that is designed to put a small amount of resistance back into the factory radio or amplifier to help maintain the stability of the product. Now, depending on what you're using, so like in a Ford and a Toyota, they don't need resistance fed back into them for the signal to work, whereas in a Dodge and some of the other cars, Hondas, they do need it in order for the sound to come on. So like this is the gray, and this, what's the gray one for?
That's for Chevy. This for Chrysler, Jeep, Maserati with
not Chevy.
Amplify.
Not
Chevy. I'm sorry, that's what
so,
I said.
Yeah.
Chrysler, Dodge, Maseratis
with
amplifier.
So how you would use this if you have one of those premium sound systems and you want to disconnect. Let's say you have the factory subwoofer and you want to disconnect it so that
the other ones?
No, the green ones we had to put. He might have. We don't have those. They're next. We might have them next door. Why don't you just run next door and see if we got a pair? Run fast.
No, I can't. And I got short legs.
So anyways, so why you'd use the amplified version is if you're going to disconnect the factory subwoofer and then connect that output to your amplifier and you want to be able to retain it, you'd go with the amplified version. Now, if you're working on like a Jeep Cherokee or some of the other Chrysler Dodge products, then and they don't make an amp pro for it, then you'd use the green version of this, and that'll provide a different amount of resistance to it so that it will tell it to stay on. The new RP the new LC2i Pro and the new LC1i have these things already built into them, so you're not going to need them. But yeah, getting a set of blues, throwing them on there, not going to hurt anything. It can definitely help. So yeah, go ahead, throw them on.
All right. Any idea for speakers replacement in a 2015 Jetta with the Fender system, dual 1 ohm coil?
Oof,
that's
hard.
Jason.
So the last one we just did the front speaker and subwoofer swap. So with the Fender system, we just did the Kicker Q Class 1005 and put that on a set of Hertz Milli Pros up front, active, re-EQ'd it, and then we added a 12-inch sealed enclosure to the trunk. And that was it. That's all we did. Because the system sounds horrible. And it was just high level off the Fender amplifier. I know on some of the Volkswagens, if you get deep into the forums and stuff like that, you can get into the software that will reflash the radio back to factory high level output instead of whatever it is that's feeding that Fender. And then I know Metra is also making their integration piece for that too. So you might want to check into that stuff. But that's what I got, Jason. Okay, cool. So we stayed late last night to pack, to get all our gear together. So we have all our camera equipment so that we can go and have a good time. We're going to catch up with Bobby tomorrow at the Peterson Museum. We're going to be there from like 11 to 2 or 10 to 2, somewhere in that range. Then we got to head back over to the West End because we have a meeting at 4 o'clock. And then we have a class till 8. So at some point we're going to go live and we'll let you know. Now, if you guys are in the West Coast and you're in the Long Beach area. And you're like, man, I'm in Long Beach. I want to hook up with you guys. Just contact me on Facebook, me or Fernando, if you're friends with either one of us. If you put in a friend's request between now and then, I'll accept you, of course. And if you're in the area and we can stop what we're doing, we'll come out and meet you. Otherwise, we'll just give you times like, hang out, man. We'll catch up with you. But if you're in the LA area and you want to check us out at the Peterson Museum, there again, we'll be there walking around. I know towards the end of it, we're going to head over to La Brea Tar Pits and the light poles. And if you're in that area, you know what I mean by light poles. So.
All right, heads off on the LGDs. They then worked for a 2019 VW GTI. I still had to add a 47 ohm resistor to get the factory fade to work.
Correct.
LC7i.
Yeah, and there again, yes. So the blue ones have a very low, very high amount of resistance, meaning there's almost no resistance at all. It's just there to condition the amplifier to be like, oh, there's something there. And what it'll do, specifically in a Ford, is take away. It'll keep the high frequencies from going out of control. So if you have an F-150 with LGDs and one without LGDs, you'll notice in the high frequencies there's substantial difference. The Ford just loses its shit, is the easiest way to say it, until you put those on there and add that slight bit of load. You'll still get sound out of them. When you're talking about turn-on, that's why they have the gray and that's why they have the green. The blue is not really designed to do that. With the blues, you still need a higher resistance. So yeah, the 47s, the 33s. And for those of you that are going, what the heck are you guys talking about? All this stuff. So we're talking about load resistors here. Now, you can get the new KISS load from Kicker, but this is what a resistor looks like. So for example, this is a 10 watt 22 ohm resistor. This is a 10 watt 30 ohm resistor. We got 43s, 5 watt 47s. These are just little guys like that. Then we have 10 watt 47s. Stinger sells these now, or Amp Global sells these now, as well as you can get these on that place where you can buy everything. That cool store that the internet has. Yeah, that place.
Okay. Any thoughts on the new Modbridge adapter for 2016 740i? The new and all capability. Compatibility. See, there you go. That's what they are. List for 2010 and 2015. Nothing for 2016 for the 7 Series.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's a tough one. Mobridge is making a lot of people's stuff. Helix is making some stuff there. I think Audison has just rebranded Mobridge stuff. We've used some of it in the past.
Do you put gas in your car?
Yeah, right. But I know I'm no expert on Mobridge. For those of you that are wondering what Mobridge is a solution for fiber optic to RCA for a lot of the European cars. So think of it as like an Amp Pro for German cars. Another company that makes a lot of those too is Nav TV. They have a couple as well. Mainly for Mercedes, but there again, I don't think they have anything for the 7 Series.
All right, for 2019 Chevy Cruze, will you keep the factory radio and add the line converter to a DSP, or replace the radio with an Alpine Media with a pack? You retain the steering wheel controls. What, you can still retain your steering wheel controls.
There again. If it's, what year is it?
It's a 2019.
So right now,
I don't know if they actually make a dash kit for that.
I have no idea.
If they do, it's not a bad idea to change it. If you don't want to change it,
if he's got features. Yeah, if he's got CarPlay or Android Auto and all those fun stuff, I'm integrating into it. I would
with the DSP.
Yeah, I'm just going to integrate into it because I really don't see. Why am I taking it out? The DSP is good enough.
So, like Audio Control make amplifiers with the DSP, like the 12 point
dash kit for 04 Sentra Civic. Really? I'm sorry, dash kit for a Civic 2004, please. There again, metraonline.com, pack-audio.com. Those are your 2 websites that'll show you the parts you need. And then you can go off and either find a local guy, which would be preferred, that has one, or find somewhere on the internet that sells it for you if you want to do that. But those are the 2 places, pack-audio.com, metraonline.com. Because I don't know the part numbers off the top of my head. I mean, we have tons and tons of dash kits.
Miami. What's up, Miami?
Super Bowl. Yay.
Yeah.
No problem. You're welcome.
Did you check that? Do you know if the Metro harness for Tacoma 2017 is equal for the 2020? I want to add the T connector to keep the factory stereo. Use a current existing speaker cables.
I haven't even seen it.
Iowa. No.
You know, so here's what we do a lot of the times, or what we suggest doing. But what we'll do, obviously, is we'll get the car in, we'll pull the radio out, and we'll just check it against the harnesses we have. If you own the truck and you know how to get the radio out of the dash, take the radio out of the dash, take a picture of the harness, compare that picture to the pictures they have online, and see if they match up. As long as they'll plug in, everything else you can figure out on your own. So like if they've moved pinned around, which a Toyota has never done, but there's always a chance, you can go at it that way. Now, I will tell you, the Toyota car that we just did, the Camry, had a totally different harness than anything we've ever seen before. Fortunately for us, Metra was already making what they call the 70 and the 71 dash whatever, which is the radio replacement harnesses. So they make a 70, goes into the aftermarket radio, plugs into the factory harness for an aftermarket radio, and they make a 71, which is the first two numbers in their nomenclature, and that would plug into the factory radio. So between those two harnesses that the customer had already bought from us, or already brought, and we're like, oh shit, so we ordered them.
Thank you, Jason.
You can make the harness that you need. Now, I know on the Camry, which was really cool, is that the speakers were all off on their own little plug. I don't know if the trucks are going to be like that, but there again, like I said, the easiest thing to do is slide the radio out of the dash, take a picture, match it up to what's online.
All right, so Fro's house just put the dash kit, the model number
for the Civic.
2004 Civic.
Hey, what's up, Iowa? Oh, and then South Africa?
South Africa?
Yeah, checking out in the house.
South Africa, Australia, too.
Can't seem to find much info on a 2000 Ford Transit Connect with Sync 3. No CDs, no fancy amps. I want to add an amp, a sub combo, but has no RCAs. Of course it doesn't. Use converter. Any ideas? Well, factory systems are not... There has been very few factory radios that have any form of preamp section on them. There has been radios, and still are radios, that have variable voltage output, which allows you to add in RCAs and go into the preamp section. But most of the time what you're going to run into, especially on a Ford, is you're going to find that it just has high-level output. Now, that year should just be the standard Ford harness that is currently available for all the Fords. It might be different, but I doubt it. And yeah, you're going to just use either something that has a high level to low level built into it. A lot of new amplifiers do. All the LC amplifiers from Audio Control have basically like an LC7i, LC2i, depending on what you're buying, built into them. Most of the amplifiers, if you look at your input voltage, it'll say like input voltage low level is point something to 4 or 5 volts, and you'll say high level input voltage anywhere from 5 volts up to 10 or 15 volts. If that's the case, any product like that is going to work. So like Kicker makes the KX amplifiers. Those work fine. The Rockford amplifiers all work that way. And then what they're going to use to turn on is what's called DC offset. DC offset is a small carrier 6 volt DC wave that passes over the speakers that you can test for. Anything that has an auto turn on built into it uses that to turn on the amplifier, so you don't have to hook up a remote turn on. Easy enough to test for it. Put one of your probes to ground, set your voltmeter to DC, and turn the radio on. Test either the positive, negative speaker wire. If you get 5 to 7 volts, 6 volts is normal, and then turn the radio off. On a Ford, you're going to have to wait till the car goes to sleep, which could take anywhere between 30 seconds to 3 minutes. If it shuts off, boom, you're magic. You're done. Hook up power, hook up ground, tap in your signals, call it a day. That's really it. I recommend, there again, you can get an external high-level to low-level adapter or just buy a better amp that has that built in. I'm a bigger fan of that, so I have less crap to put in the car.
Puerto Rico's in the house. Car audio designs and Havoc.
Can I use a 5-channel amp to replace a factory 6-channel amp? Only if your sub-channels, let's say, so if it's a 6-channel amp and 1 through 4 are all 4 corners and 5 and 6 are both going to a subwoofer, then yes. However, if it's like 1 through 4 is all 4 corners, 5 is center, 6 is sub, well then no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
awesome work. Thanks for the info. No problem.
Yeah.
So you excited about tomorrow?
Yes.
So you excited about getting up at 4:30 in the morning?
No, not at all.
I know, right? It's going to suck.
No, I'm just leaving here in the bay.
Why would you do that? You got to pack, man.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think the backpack weighs as much as you do. I'm running LC7i and feeding that into Dayton DSP, running a bunch of hold on. Running two-way front coaxials and rear single 12 spare tire sub Suburban Vega. Your thoughts on the LC7i being... no, actually, it's not a waste because when we were testing our Dayton, high level, low level, all of it kind of sucks. So, yeah, I would totally go for the LC7i. Yeah, definitely. ID Max versus W7. Man, I got to tell you, I haven't heard an ID Max in years. It's nice to know they're still handmade by the same guy that invented the woofer way back when.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what, because they're owned by those guys, Powerbase. And when Jeff Fox was here, they were talking about how, he finally accepted a helper to help him build the woofers. But up until then, he's been hand building each one of them. That's why they're expensive and they're hard to get. But, you know, they're both really cool woofers. I don't know which one I would buy. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I know I'd probably want the image.
Wow.
But, yeah.
All right, maybe we go into the festival, Bobby.
What festival?
The festival they're gonna be in Long Beach.
We're not gonna have time for any of that.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be fun. I guess there are like a reggae festival.
I'm not going to a reggae festival.
We're going for this week in Long Beach. It's gonna be like 300,000.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Woo! Yeah, let's go party.
All right, you go have fun. We got classes to teach, man. We got to be responsible. We have young minds to mold.
Man. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we gotta get back to work.
Okay. All right, guys. So look forward to tomorrow. We're gonna be doing there again. Follow us here on Instagram.
Yes.
You already are, so I don't need to tell you. We're gonna head out. Get back to work. Get back to doing. We got to finish packing up. We guys still got these are the backpacks. We got to get all this. We still got another car. Oh, goody. All right, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.